What do you say, everybody? Hello and welcome back to beautiful Thomas More Stadium in sunny Florence, Kentucky. It's Frontier League Baseball on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN, as well as the Florence Y'all's Radio Network on our YouTube audio stream. Rory Tettemer alongside Ben Howler. Excited to be back at Thomas More Stadium for what is an action-packed week here. A 7-game homestand, Ben. Playoffs on the line. You're into your final 2 weeks of the season. Game number 90 is almost underway. How are you feeling?
You touched on almost all the reasons. It's a great week and great vibes around the stadium. Another one, it's just a beautiful day at Thomas More Stadium. So how about that? So you got a playoff push going. You're still sitting at least pretty solid right now with 3.5-game lead over Windy City. And you got your final opportunity against the last place team of the division. And it's just a massive 4-game set. Obviously a 7-inning game doubleheader tomorrow. But pitching matchups are going to be crucial. Yannick Villalobos, after getting that whole week off, a little bit of extra rest, he looked tired last time he was out, the last time we were home, last Sunday against Schaumburg. So excited to see how he bounces back after that. He knows what's at stake, one of the veterans on this Florence team, and I think he'd be loved to be playing for a playoff spot.
Oh, absolutely. I think it would be, one of his first playoff opportunities. He was with the team in 2021, so he did have that taste. But Florence as a team and organization as a whole has not been in the playoffs since 2021. Guys like us have not sniffed that yet. So we are very excited to rate. 3.5-game lead over the Windy City Thunderbolts. That's really who you are, trying to keep behind you. Windy City is opening up with a 6-game road trip in Mississippi, so hopefully they're a little bit tired from that long bus ride. We know how long that bus ride is. And, Mississippi, anything can happen there. We'll be watching that one, obviously, throughout the game. But it's also Windy City's kind of more focused on Schaumburg at this point. They are 2 games out of the Midwest West Division. Schaumburg is in their sights to take the division lead, in which case they would then host a playoff series instead of just getting the 1 game. What do you think about that? Because either way you have it, you have a game and a half over Schaumburg or 3.5 over Windy City.
Tell you what, this is the point of the season, and coaches hate when you talk about this, but this week, a Mississippi win, Evansville win, it is just as good as a Florence win.
Yeah.
And those are the 2 teams you're trying to get ahead of Schaumburg and Windy City. And, yeah, you're right. You have an advantage in the fact that you can let Windy City overtake you. You can let Schaumburg overtake you. You just got to be better than one of those 2 teams to get into the playoffs. Now you're at the point, I don't think you're thinking about matchups in the playoffs. You're not thinking about, I'd rather play them. I'd rather, this happen. You're just thinking, I want a Florence win. I want a Mississippi win. I want an Evansville win.
At some point, you just want to dance.
Yeah.
Everyone just wants to dance into the playoffs, and that's what Florence, has in their sights. You have matchups against both of the teams that we've already mentioned, Schaumburg and Windy City, still to come this season. Actually, next week will be maybe an even more action-packed week, and Florence trying to narrow down their 10-game magic number. But you mentioned it. The last time Florence was out there, they did not win, but everyone else did lose. So Windy City lost, Schaumburg lost, even Washington lost the last time you were out there. So you didn't lose any ground, you just didn't gain any ground. It was a big opportunity for Florence to actually gain some ground in that playoff race, feel a little bit more comfortable entering the 7-game homestand. Instead, you had one of the tougher losses of the season at one point an 8-3 lead or an 8-5 lead. You blew it all away, and Florence, was not able to come back, lost 11-8 to the Evansville Otters, swept for the 2nd time against Evansville this season. Have not won a game at Bosse Field since last year, but that is in the past, and you have a short-term memory here entering a 7-game homestand and such big stakes on the line.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at the grand scheme of things, you're still, overall, since the All-Star break, have a good record and are playing pretty good baseball. When there have been issues, it's been with the bullpen. But I can also say, to give the bullpen some credit, when they went on that winning streak, the bullpen was a big part of that. What it tells me is that, the hitting, the starting pitching, it's been somewhat consistent. Not saying it's been consistently awesome, but has been consistent. They really go up and down. They ride with the bullpen. I mean, it is true, especially in the Frontier League, where starters don't go quite as long as some other levels. That bullpen is so important, and it has got to flip a switch from these last 4 games into this week.
And to be honest, it was more surprising, more shocking than anything. Florence ends up getting the game to Chris Barraza, to Aiden McAvoy. They ended up losing both of those. So it's 2 All-Stars that weren't able to finish the job for the Y'alls in both those games, talking about Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. you figure 10 times out or 9 times out of 10, you feel comfortable in that situation, getting a Y'alls win. Just did not happen at Bosse Field. But you mentioned it. It's Yannicker Villalobos for Florence, his first start in a week. But it's also the third time facing Kobe Reeves against the Crushers, or for the Crushers there, the left-handed pitcher. He's had 2 pretty good starts against Florence. The Y'alls able to figure him out a little bit more, really in just 1 inning. The other innings outside of that, he went 6 his last time in Lake Erie, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits. All 3 of those runs came in 1 inning. The other few innings, Florence looked a little pedestrian against him. It's got to be the third time the charm this time around, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not rocket science. There's a huge disadvantage for a pitcher who's got to see not only a team 3 times in a season is already pretty rare, but to do it 3 times in 3 weeks, you would think that the offense starts to see him a little bit better. They don't need a ton. They don't need to absolutely light him up. Kobe Reeves has put together some pretty good numbers. He's tough to hit. But on the flip side of that, the way there's been some shakeup in the Florence rotation, as it looks right now, there probably should not be anyone that Lake Erie sees 3 times on Florence's side, especially with new guy Eli Majic supposed to go tomorrow in 1 game with a doubleheader. So you got to just take those little advantages any way that you can. Find them anywhere you can. This is again, we talked about it a lot. Both times that Lake Erie's played Florence, it's a lefty-heavy lineup. We know the Florence rotation is extremely lefty-heavy. So that's just another one where if you're a manager, you can leave a lefty out there maybe a little bit longer than you would against most of the typical righty-heavy lineups in the league.
Ben, we've been speaking about this 3-week set all the way back in May. You were talking about how it might be the same pitchers in all 3 series if you ended up going to a 6-man rotation. The only person that's going to be facing that is Kobe Reeves. With Florence having that rain delay, the last time that Lake Erie was here, you would have seen Garbrick, you would have seen Lawson those 3 times as well, but neither of those did pitch in that first series. They ended up pitching in the second series, which still will be a week-to-week basis, but Kobe Reeves will be the only pitcher throughout the entire series that will be throwing in all 3 series this month of August. So it should be a benefit for the Florence offense, seeing him for the 3rd time in a row. Hopefully, we can finally see some fireworks here at Thomas More Stadium. Strikeout Cancer Night, $2 Tuesday, as well as Little Y'allers Night. A lot of stuff happening here at Thomas More Stadium. You had mentioned it early in the pregame show. I think perhaps the best night weather-wise that we've seen here at Thomas More Stadium in quite some time.
You could be right. It could be the best weather of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's beautiful.
Hopefully it plays for some, a better crowd tonight than you'll typically see on Tuesdays too, with it being the final $2 Tuesday at Strikeout Cancer Night. But vibes are high, and I'll tell you, that's usually not the case on a 4-game losing streak. But I think it's just because Florence knows exactly what's in front of them. They know what they need to do, and they know they're doing it against a team that they can beat. Obviously, Lake Erie, bottom of the division. These 2 teams have split the first 8 games of the season series. There's been some momentum on both sides, but ultimately, I think if you're Florence, you like the guys you have in the dugout. It's
been relatively close the entire series, but Florence, the last 4 times facing Lake Erie, they've only been able to pick up 1 win in those last 4 games. It's pretty interesting to see, and still Florence with a 4-4 record against the Crushers this season. Obviously a 4-game series here to finish off what will be 12 on the season. So a lot of things can change between Lake Erie and Florence's season stats, especially if Florence or either team gets a 4-game sweep. You're going to say, hey, it was lopsided, an 8-4 season series. What were you even talking about that last time they faced? But it has been pretty neck and neck between these 2 teams. And I think, just given the fact that they've played each other now 3 times in a series, they know each other well. Offenses know each other well. You could see some defensive shifts. You could see some, different pitching to these hitters. I would assume they don't want to face Hank Zeisler, but no one else in the Frontier League wants to face Hank Zeisler. Yeah. So it will be a lot of interesting things. I think what Florence really has to, just go into this series with is the mindset, hey, everything is in front of us. It's not like we do not hold our own cards.
Right.
Everything is in front of you. It would be a collapse if we fell out of the playoffs, but we still have everything in our own hands to change this tide and get back into the, feeling good going into the playoffs.
Sometimes that's good for your mentality and for your attitude. Sometimes it's not. I'll tell you what, you see these late season, postseason pushes. Sometimes the team does not control their own destiny and they're a couple games back, they just start to play a little more free. Teams start to play nervous who are in that position. That's what you really want to avoid if you're Florence, obviously.
Well, you end up with you have everything to lose, you have nothing to lose. Yep. And usually the you have nothing to lose team ends up playing a little bit more aggressive. They get a little bit more of that run. So we'll see which team Florence wants to be out there, but should still be an exciting day. The Y'alls are heading out onto the field. We'll pause on the Fifth West Brewing pregame show as we await the national anthem. But when we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and first pitch at Thomas More Stadium. It's a 7-game homestand starting tonight on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Lovely, lovely rendition of our national anthem. We're ready for first pitch here at Thomas More Stadium. Strikeout Cancer Night, $2 Tuesday, as well as Little Y'allers Night. Florence against Lake Erie, a 4-game series starting off a 7-game homestand. Let's take a look at the lineups for both squads. First for the away team, Lake Erie Crushers. Leading things off will be the designated hitter, Joe Redfield, followed by batting second, the right fielder, Jerron Williams. In the 3 slot, the third baseman, Paven Parks. Batting cleanup, the first baseman, Braden Joe Bear. In the 5 slot, the second baseman, Luis Acevedo. Batting 6th, the shortstop, Jared Watkins. In the 7 slot, the center fielder, Garrett Pike. Batting 8th, the catcher, Ian Francis. And rounding it out will be the left fielder, James Jett. Again, against the southpaw, Yannicker Villalobos. For Florence, they're going to flip things up at the top. Milo Rushford will start things off, followed by the second baseman, Brett Blomquist. Batting third, as always, the captain, Hank Zeisler, over at first. Doing the cleanup duties will be the designated hitter, Zade Richardson, followed by the 5 spot, the right fielder, Brendan Bobo. Batting 6 at the hot corner, Garrett Broussard. Batting 7th, the center fielder, Cole Brandon. In the 8th slot, as always, will be the shortstop, Dylan Baker, and rounding out, Zach Beadle, doing the catching behind the plate. Florence with 4 lefties in the lineup against the southpaw, Kobe Reeves. Can't say the same for the Lake Erie Crushers. They will send a lot of lefties. As you mentioned in the Fifth West Brewing pregame show, it's a lefty-heavy lineup for these Crushers. They still send 5 against Villalobos. And a lot in a row, too.
Yeah, this is just the makeup of their roster. You know, you don't see it a whole lot, but, you know, smaller offensive rosters here in the Frontier League means you have a lot of options to throw extra righties in there.
Villalobos this season working with a 4-4 record, a 5.31 ERA. Around 70 innings pitched so far on the season. Just half a season later after being 2025 cut short through shoulder surgery. First pitch misses downstairs, 86 miles per hour. We are underway at 6:55.
Yeah, look, I mean, if you look at the overall numbers on the season for Villalobos, it'll tell you he's been about average. But I think what you have to do is take a look under the hood and see recently he has been outstanding. Outside of that one Schaumburg start where we said, you know, he looked a little tired. His velocity was way down. Going into that appearance, he'd been great. Right before that included a 6-inning, 3-run appearance against these Crushers.
His last time and first time against the Lake Erie Crushers was 6 innings pitched, 9 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and 4 Ks. We were chalking that up to just a classic Villalobos start.
It was. It also came after his last appearance before that was 6 scoreless. I mean, he's somebody who, you know, you wanted to say before the Schaumburg start, rarely ever gets pulled from a game early. But again, weird things happening in that Schaumburg game.
1-2 the count to the southpaw. Called strike three, dots up the bottom half, 89 miles per hour. And look at that punch out early from Miguel Cruz.
He's excited to be here. I think we're all excited. Got a pretty good crowd for a Tuesday once again. Look at the lines for $2 Tuesday out of the concessions. And I'll tell you what, this home plate section, this whole section's getting me excited. A lot of y'all's jerseys out there. These are the diehard fans that ready to see a playoff push.
First pitch to the righty Jerron Williams. Jerron Williams we saw the last time out. Made a couple big hits. Played a good right field for Lake Erie in Lake Erie at Forefront Field. That one misses outside, 2-0 the count. Jerron Williams, just 3 games, hitting .556 against Florence.
It's pretty good.
Really? 2-0, ground ball left side. He's got another hit there into left field. First hit of the day for Lake Erie. And a 1-out runner aboard for Pavin Parks.
Yeah, Williams has been a solid ad for Lake Erie so far. Well, no other team scooped him up.
Parks, 8 games against Florence. He's played in all 8 on the season, hitting .219 with 7 RBIs, 5 walks, 11 Ks. Overall, 7 for 32 in those 8 games.
You know, he's had success this year. It's not terribly off from the season numbers, though. It's a low batting average. But, I mean, does this guy have some power or what?
Yeah, 19 homers, off speed. In there for a strike, going 1. Beautifully played, 73 miles per hour, top of the zone. 22.86 on the spin rate. Lefty-lefty battle. Florence in the all baby blues. Baby blue jerseys with baby blue pants and the red, white, and blue caps. Lake Erie, black jerseys, gray pants, black caps. Those are actually purple caps. The darker purple caps, not the traditional black with the black jerseys.
Beats me, Rory.
I was going to say, you really couldn't tell either way. I could have rode that one out the whole, yeah. 0-2 the count. Runner on first and 1 away. Opening frame, 0-2 pitch. Called, strike 3, top of the zone. Another beautiful off-speed from Villalobos. Sits another one down looking, his second of the day. It'll bring up Braden Jobert.
That curveball's working. It's got just so much vertical break. And when you put it at the top of the zone like that, it can be a little dangerous. But if you can trust that location to hitters, it just looks so high.
It's another lefty in Braden Jobert. First baseman today. Saw him in just 2 games after he was acquired from the Tri-City Valley Cats. That one misses inside. Hitting .375 in those 2 games. Picked up 2 RBIs, a home run. That was in his second plate appearance as a crusher. The 1-0. Fouls it away. Villalobos, a guy that, you could see a lot of stuff around the zone. Still some low walk numbers on the season. Gets hit a little bit, but, where he thrives is keeping them from crossing home plate. And obviously, the last time out here against Lake Erie, it was here at home. 9 hits, 3 runs, across 6 innings of work. Only had 1 walk. The 1-1, top of the zone.
Where he also succeeds is usually keeping the ball in the park. They gave up a home run against Schaumburg.
Yeah, he's allowed 6 homers this season. It's a relatively low number for a guy that's now making his 16th start. 2-1. Upstairs, no good. 3-1 the count. Villalobos, still such a, young player. Was drafted at the age of 16 or signed with the Miami Marlins at the age of 16. One pickoff attempt. Let's take a look at that defense for Florence. Out in left field will be Milo Rushford. In center field, Cole Brannon. In right field, Brendan Bobo. In the infield, it's Garrett Broussard at the hot corner. Dylan Baker at short. Brett Blomquist at second. Hank Zeisler, the captain, at first. And Zach Beadle doing the catching. Off speed, fouls it away. We have a full count.
You do have an interesting point about Villalobos. I mean, generally speaking, he's a very young guy. But he comes across as such a, smart veteran who's been around the game a while because he has. Because he's been in the professional game since he was 16.
27 years of age. Call time at the plate. It's a full count, 2 away, and a runner on first. Top half of one. Final $2 Tuesday of the season. The Florence faithful have showed out all throughout the ballpark. I mean, it is a beehive of activity. The payoff. Runner takes off. It's grounded over to the shortstop, Baker. He'll go the long way on to first. Scooped up by Zeisler, and in time, Can You Dig It? Scoop of the day. Go visit our friends at Can You Dig It RC in Erlanger. A clean frame for Villalobos, setting to the bottom of the first. Florence gets their first crack. When we return to the Frontier League Network, powered by HDN. Bottom half of the first inning, Florence gets their first crack against Kobe Reeves, the third time he's facing the Y'alls in the last 3 weeks. Let's take a look at the defense behind him for Lake Erie. James Jett will be in left field, Pike in center, Williams in right. In the infield, it's Parks at the hot corner, Watkins at short, Acevedo at second, Joe Bear at first, and doing the catching will be Francis behind the plate. We mentioned in the pregame show, the Fifth West Brewing pregame show, it's Kobe Reeves, his third time facing the Y'alls in the last 3 weeks. So Florence has seen him early and often here. And, you know, haven't had like the most amount of success.
Yeah.
Last time was last Wednesday at Forefront Field in Avon, Ohio. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 4 Ks. All of that damage really happened in 1 inning. Florence was in a 3-2 ball game, a 3-2 lead when Kobe Reeves left. The Y'alls ended up winning that game 14-2.
Yeah, they did. And Reeves is, you know, out of all the somewhat of a carousel it's been of a rotation for Lake Erie this year, Reeves has been a little bit of a bright spot. That's been where Lake Erie's toughest part has been this season, is just finding consistent starting pitching.
It's Milo Rushford leading things off against Reeves this season. Rushford is hitting .400, 2 for 5 there with a strikeout.
Man, we gotta figure out this gate situation out in the Florence bullpen. That's happened, what, 5 times that last game against Schaumburg?
Yeah. It's the ghost of Florence Pass is trying to get back in the ball game.
It's Windy City trying to get us in the playoffs.
0-1, swing and a miss, blown by him. Kobe Reeves pitched for the New York Boulders in 2025 and 2026 to start, then came over for his back half of the season here, his second professional season, first with the Crushers. The 0-2, Rushford fouls it away. You mentioned, you know, every time that you come back and see the stats, you're just like, hey, let's take a look at what everyone else did, where the numbers are at after a road trip that you weren't able to go on. 260 average for Rushford. He's one of the guys that kind of stayed around the same, or at least was a little bit up.
Yeah.
0-2, fouls it away. And again, that's something, you know, for both of us when you just take a look at the numbers at the end of the week. Don't really focus on it too much in the week. But once you see it again, it's like, hey, wow, this guy went up this week, this guy went down this week. Some of them more fluctuating than others. That one misses downstairs, 1-2 the count.
He's still someone that's getting on base, too. I think that goes without a doubt.
Prior to coming over with Lake Erie, 3-0 with a save, 5 ERA, 25 games, 27 innings pitched. It was no starts with the Boulders, and now he's worked as a starter predominantly for the Crushers. 24 Ks. 18 walks and 8 K per 9. 1-2 pitch off speed. This is upstairs. 2-2 the count.
Wow. That's all I'll say about that one.
Yeah. Entered a little too much up top, I guess.
It was not right down the middle, I'll say that.
2-2. Fouls it away. Spoils off the fastball upstairs and inside. 91, that's a good spot from Reeves.
It is.
Great job from Rushford there, just trusting the hands inside too. They're leaving him wide open up the middle. I mean, playing a pull side shift with the second baseman, a little bit more shaded towards the first base line. But the shortstop's not following, so up the middle's wide open. 2-2. Misses outside, a full count. What a great at-bat from Rushford to open up the ball game for Florence. As if the Alls needed to see Kobe Reeves anymore, they'll get a refresher here in this at-bat. Reeves to Rushford. The payoff pitch misses downstairs, and Rushford wins the battle. That started off 0-2, battling off a couple fouls, and he works himself a walk. And a long at-bat to open up the ball game for Kobe Reeves.
Yeah, it's a like you said, good plate appearance. You know, being a leadoff hitter goes beyond the numbers. It's those types of at-bats where, number one, the on-base percentage obviously needs to be pretty good. You also just need to see as many pitches as you possibly can to help the stars of your lineup out. Rushford's been a leadoff hitter for the majority of his career, so he knows exactly what that role is.
First pitch to the All-Star Blomquist. Catch to the bottom of the zone on the fastball at 92. Blomquist, a guy that's really just been consistent at that 330 number. 332 entering today, a 442 on base, 582 slugging. Ooh, that one runs inside and hits him on the elbow pad, right on the protection. A walk and a hit by pitch, always brought to you by Airport Paint and Body. Visit Airport Paint and Body to smooth you out, get you back in the game. AirportPaintandBody.com. That brings up the captain, Hank Zeisler. 2 aboard, nobody out. Take another look on HTN.
Right on the guard. That's at least what it sounded like.
And let's announce it now. Hank Zeisler, technically with the first pitch of the ball game, broke the record, but 306 games played, the new franchise record for Florence. Congratulations to the captain. First pitch to him, in there for a strike.
He's Mr. Florence, y'all. I mean, he really is. Yeah. Just all those records. I think when anybody in the Frontier League thinks about the Florence Yells, it's the face that you see is Hank Zeisler.
And Gold Star Burgers.
And Gold Star Burgers.
Here's the 0-1. Ground ball, base hit into the left field. Rushford going to get a stop sign over at third. The bases are loaded with the first hit of the game for Zeisler as he celebrates breaking the all-time games played record.
Is there anything more just kind of fitting for his first game when he breaks the record? Is just a simple opposite field approach, grounder through the left side. He can do it all.
That is the perfect approach there for Zeisler. I was on the golf course yesterday with Eli Majic, Jet Lotus, and Logan Jones, and I think Eli just sliced one a little left. It was a low liner, and I said, there's a Zeisler base hit in the left field. It was a perfect representation. How about this?
Good reaction.
I got a good laugh. Good. That's all I do on the course. I'm there for jokes. This guy double bogeyed hole 1 and said, time to crack a beer.
Heard your driver's a pretty good joke, too.
I was driving really good. My putts yesterday were a complete joke.
So it's just the not as much the physical comedy in the golf game, just the verbal comedy?
Yeah. No, didn't fall or anything. Didn't make a fool of myself. Zade Richardson with the bases loaded in the first. Nobody out. This is how you start off a ball game. First pitch to the face of the Florence Yalls, in there for a strike at 83. Immediate off speed. 12.56 on the spin rate. A little bit of a splitter there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the first time we've seen it, too.
Yeah. 0-1. Missing downstairs, 1-1. Everybody remembers what Zade Richardson did back on opening day of 2024. A first inning grand slam against the defending champion, Quebec. Florence went on to win that game like 18-4.
It's your first game with Florence?
Yeah. 1-1. Hard hit over towards the shortstop. Fielded on the backhand. Toss to second one. Relay over to first is in time. Won't be an RBI, but Florence does get a run across. It's 1-0 Yalls.
All things considered, yeah, Lake Erie's going to take that. Richardson, I couldn't quite get underneath it enough.
Rushford comes home to score. Blomquist over to third, 90 feet away. It feels wrong to throw a T-shirt out on that.
A double play.
Yeah.
How about this? How about it has to be an RBI for us to throw a
For
T-shirt?
me, I only really do.
Yeah.
Even a sack fly I'm not too proud about.
You've been saying you want to see more small balls, so you got to pick a side.
What? A little suicide squeeze bunt. That one runs inside and hits Brendan Bobo.
Did he catch that?
I think he might have caught it in
ball in the backyard.
Might have caught it in like his armpit there.
How about that?
Runners at the corners. That's the second hit by pitch. Another one by Airport Peyton Body. Anytime you can head over to Airport Peyton Body, smooth you out, get you back in the game. Let's take another look. I think it does just stay with him. Yeah,
how about that?
He catches it in the arm. I don't know if that would feel good at all.
I'll tell you what, I think it would feel a little bit better, right? Because you have two different parts of the body absorbing the contact.
Brings up Garrett Broussard, top of the zone. First pitch in there for a strike. Florence on top, 1-0. You'd like to get more when you have the bases loaded, nobody out. You have runners at the corners, 2 away after the ground ball double play from Richardson. Went 6-4-3 on that. The 0-1 to Broussard misses outside. 1-1 the count.
Tell you what, I was getting a little nervous there. Against Evansville, the back-to-back hit by pitch on the hands. I think it was Baker and Harbison, both of them.
No, that was weird. 1-1, swing and a miss. It was either expert acting by Dylan Baker or, it was just a weird argument from the Evansville staff saying that it did not hit him. And the umpire crew at that, at first as well. Trying to say it was a foul ball. 1-2. Called. Strike 3, about a little half-inch off the plate, but probably too close to give to Miguel Cruz. Florence gets 1, but strands 2 on base. We head to the top of the second. 1-0 Y'alls when we return on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Top of the second always brings us our umpire intro, brought to you by Pella Window and Door. Looking for a clear view of every call? Trust Pella Window and Door to bring you replay-worthy clarity and craftsmanship you can count on. Pella Window and Door, so good, even the ump won't miss a thing. Second inning for Yanniker Villalobos. Behind home plate, Miguel Cruz. Down the first baseline, Will Noleski. Down the third baseline, Akira Gok. Miguel Cruz, the crew chief, calling the balls in strengths. It'll be Luis Acevedo, Jared Watkins, and Garrett Pike. Just a single allowed from Villalobos in his opening frame. Picked up 2 Ks looking. Let's see how he handles the second. Acevedo had a very good series against Florence last time these two teams faced. That one's drilled high and deep out towards left field. Rushford warning track wall. It's going to continue for Acevedo. A ambush home run over Villalobos. This game's tied up in 1.
Yeah, just a loud one. Villalobos left one over the plate. First pitch of the inning. Tried to get away with it. Acevedo's got that potential power.
That's his second home run and 4th RBI. He was entering this one hitting .333 across 8 games. And he'll continue that torrid pace against the Y'alls. Acevedo, a guy that I wanted Florence to acquire in the offseason. Once I heard that, New Jersey was, optioning him off. Did not, and ends up with a rival in Lake Erie. He hits lefties unbelievably well. First pitch misses downstairs. 1-0 the count to Jared Watkins, the lefty at the plate. Off speed misses inside. They're going to say it hit him on the elbow pad. So a home run and a hit by pitch to open up the second for Villalobos.
Yeah, I mean, it's not abnormal for Villalobos to see him get to a point where you're like, man, has he run out of steam a little bit? And then what he'll do is he'll get out of the inning and then power through for a couple more scoreless. And again, it's just two batters, so it's unfair to say that in the first place.
First pitch shows bunt, pulls back. Back pick over at first is not in time. Was in there for a strike. 0-1 the count.
I think he went around, kept the bunt out there too. I think that's what the call was. I like that idea from Beetle. He just missed it.
Ground ball right side, fielded by Zeisler. The throw will go, or just a foul ball. I'm going to say it hit off the ankle there of Garrett Pike. Take another look here. Did think that was a abnormally just slow roller.
Yeah, I think it did. I think that the sound of it too is what gave it away a little bit.
Pickoff attempt, nothing going. Oh, 0-2 the count. Nobody out runner on first. A 1-1 ball game. Kick the 0-2 pitch. Fouls it away. When you speak about this, playoff run for Florence, like we said, you're in a spot where you hold everything. You have your own destiny in your hands. 0-2 pitch into left field for a base hit. That's the third base runner on board this inning, and the third hit allowed from Villalobos. And when you hold your own destiny in your own hands, you don't feel like every game is a must-win, but certainly in the series against Lake Erie, it's the last time you're facing anyone with a below 500 record. You need to win 3, and I would say 4 against the Crushers to feel extremely good about your chances moving forward. If you don't, then you'll be, scrambling throughout the rest of the season. 9 games against Washington, Schaumburg, and Windy City. Swing and a miss.
Well, so the hard part here is, I would say 3. I mean, it's just hard to sweep a team in 4 games. It doesn't matter who you're playing. What it is also really hard to do is to sweep a doubleheader. So that's why this specific game feels a little more important.
0-1 misses outside. 1-1 the count.
Because, I mean, you lose this game, you're looking at, a doubleheader split. Is the best thing you can get after that is splitting the series.
Yeah.
And that'd be tough. It would be.
One misses inside. Lake Erie playing better as of late. So maybe it's not, accurate just to look at their full season as a measuring stick. Either way, it's it's a team that you need to be in division regardless. That one's fouled away. 2-2. I mean, Lake Erie last 10, they're 5-5. On the road, they're 16-25, a 36-52 season overall. And their expected is actually less than that. Yeah. 31-57. 2-2. Skies it out towards right center field. On the run is Brandon coming in a little bit. He'll make the grab. No tag.
Look, I've watched this team enough to say that Lake Erie, that there definitely are a lot of guys in the lineup I'm scared of. If you look at the stat sheet and just at the numbers, you probably wouldn't be that scared of this lineup top to bottom. There's 2 guys hitting in this lineup today who's got an OPS of 800 or better, and one of them is on extremely low sample size.
Yeah.
Again, numbers don't tell the full story, and we've seen Lake Erie enough the past couple of weeks to know that they do have guys that really can hurt you, but that's where I think that expected low win-loss record comes from.
Swing and a miss to James Jett out of Louisville, Kentucky. Jett. He's been with the Crushers all season. Enters today hitting .229, 4 homers, 18 RBIs. Villalobos with one away, runners first and second. Trying to get out of the top of 2. 1-1 ball game, the 0-1 pitch. Top of the zone, no good. We mentioned this might be a light week on our YouTube audio stream. Sergeant Bilko should be in attendance. So shouldn't be listening to it. Well, you know what? I would really applaud him if he was listening to the radio stream. That's the expert way to listen to a baseball, or go to a baseball game. 1-1 fouls it away.
It doesn't happen as much anymore, but those videos and pictures of a bunch of people having their headsets with their pocket radios on and the baseball games of the 1900s, that's so cool.
Oh, that's, epic. Still with a beer in your hand, enjoying it in person, but then also listening to it. It's the only way to fly. The 0-2, or 1-2, misses outside. 2-2 the count. Good crowd here for $2 Tuesday. Couple pink shirts in attendance. Now, this strikeout cancer night was supposed to happen all the way back in May or June, and it got postponed.
Who's May? It was that first cancellation of the year that came against Evansville.
So we moved it here. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Top of the zone. Third K for Villalobos.
Yeah, putting that eye candy a little bit above the zone and get a 9-hitter like Jett to get him to chase. It's a good pitch for Villalobos. 2 outs, back to the top of the lineup. This is where games are won or lost a lot of times.
Now this is a big spot. You struck out Redfield the last time on an off-speed upstairs looking. Redfield this season against Florence in 8 games, .355 average, just 2 RBIs. But he certainly has done it with the bat. That one's skied out towards right center field. On the run, Brandon, all the way to the wall. He makes the grab right before banging into the wall. A long fly out, but it counts just the same. Villalobos strands 2 on base. It was a leadoff homer from Acevedo to tie this game at 1. Heading to the bottom of 2. Florence trying to get it back. When we return on the Frontier League Network, powered by HDM. Bottom of the second is always brought to you by Thomas More University, our scoreboard partner. Thomas More University. There you'll be able to take your life and your career as far as you want it to go. Apply or donate today at thomasmore.edu. 7-8-9 due up for Florence, Cole Brandon, Dylan Baker, and Zach Beadle. The all stranding 2 on base. They had the bases loaded, nobody out. Were able to push across 1. It was a double play from Zade Richardson. Immediately, it's already costing them. This game tied up on the first pitch of the top of the second. 1-1 entering the bottom half of 2. Been a decent storyline just last week and already continuing into today, leaving too many runners on base. We'll see what Cole Brandon, Baker, and Beadle have to say about that.
Yeah, total, leaving a lot of guys on base. It's also, it's a few too many times that they've just left the bases loaded.
Yeah.
That's obviously is a lot of numbers in the left on base category, but that especially just feels a little bit less like you're kind of spitting in the baseball god's face a little bit. Bad karma, leaving the bases loaded as much as Florence has.
A 0-1 the count to the lefty, Brandon. Off speed, misses downstairs. Brandon this season between Gateway and Florence against Lake Erie, .304 average, 10 strikeouts, 8 walks, 9 RBIs. Does have a home run, really. Some good numbers against Lake Erie this year, 1-1 swing and a miss.
That was his first series with Florence a couple weeks ago in just a 2-game series. He had a pretty good debut with Florence in those 2 games.
1-2, swing and a miss. He's down on strikes, making 11 Ks against the Crushers this season. Back-to-back for Kobe Reeves. I think that was a decent point for Florence. You also had Kobe Reeves on the ropes in the first, a guy you have not been able to see well, the last 2 weeks facing him. Dylan Baker will step up to the plate. He's been very good against Lake Erie. 8 games, a .345 average, 6 Ks, 3 walks, 8 RBIs, 2 cranks. That one's in there for a strike. 11 homers on the season for Baker. Average still staying put at .255. 63 RBIs. The 0-1 drills that one high and deep out towards left field. Jet on the move towards the warning track. He'll make the grab at the warning track. Good piece there from Baker.
He just missed that one, too. It looked like off the bat that he sent Jet way back.
Bottom of the second, 2 away with the bases empty for Zach Beadle. How about his home run in Evansville? A loud one into right center field.
Well, I'll tell you what, the numbers still aren't jumping off the page for Beadle, but it feels like all of those hits, they come in big spots.
Yeah.
The 2 home runs have come in huge spots this year.
And you could say the production, RBIs and runs throughout the entire catcher position is, have not been jumping off the page. It's just the difference in average right now. Harbison's at 275 and Beadle at 229.
Yeah.
Now, and they have kind of split duties still, around the same amount of games played. Quickly down 0-2.
Well, Beadle's just been a warrior. He's been, Harbison a little bit of a late addition to the active roster, but Beadle all year long has been taking a beating a little bit. Still goes out there every game.
1-2 the count, 2 away. Empty bases. Bottom of the second, a 1-1 ball game. Kick the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Kobe Reeves, 2 Ks in the inning and a 1-2-3 frame. Quickly rebounds. We head to the top of the third. It's time for Tettemer Trivia. Tied up at 1 when we return on the Frontier League Network, powered by HDN. Top half of third always brought to you by the Roar Agency, located in all 50 states across the nation. Feel the Roar difference with Roar Insurance. Visit us today at roarins.com. 1-1 ball game entering the top of the third. Villalobos back out. Second time through the order. Jaron Williams, Paven Parks, and Braden Joubert. 2-3-4 due up for the Crushers. 3 hits for Lake Erie, just 1 for Florence. Top of the third always brings us our Tettemer Trivia. The way it works, I read a question top half of the third, give you guys the answer in the bottom half. You have the opportunity to play along. Head on over to Twitter. The question is live there. account you're looking for, Florence_Yalls or R Tettemer 9. Again, Florence_Yalls or RTETTEMER 9. 0-1 swing and a miss. Williams a single his last time up at the plate. Ben, you were able to get a answer right, Tettemer trivia on the road.
Got the win. How about that?
Yeah, you got the win. Calling time at the plate is Williams. Mentioned his incredible stats against Florence this season. Villalobos wind up the 0-2. Skied out towards shallow center field. Racing in is Brandon. In comes Bobo. It's Brandon making the call for out number 1. Good first out there from Villalobos. That'll bring up Haven Parks, who struck out looking. Let's get to our question of the day. Jacob deGrom just reached 2,000 career strikeouts. Did it in, expert time. He's the second fastest to reach it, and regardless of games or innings, he is the second fastest to do it. I want to know, who was the first player he struck out all the way back in 2014? First player he struck out all the way back in 2014. I gave a lot of hints on this one. Swing and a miss. Now it's a known name. 3-time All-Star first baseman. Mainly played in the American League. Had a stint in the NL. And then was in the 2000 to 2020 range. 0-1, hard hit over towards the second baseman. Blomquist fields it on a hop throw onto first is in time. Awkward play there for Blomquist, but 4-3 on the putaway.
Yeah, a little bit of an in-betweener, but that's just, why footwork is so important. Getting in front of the ball is one of the most important things as an infielder. 2020 range, you say?
2000 to 2020 is the range in which he played in.
2014. This guy had a stint in the NL.
Yep.
Mostly the AL.
So obviously it was in 2014. Yeah. That one's popped up in the infield. A relatively quick inning if this one is caught. Villalobos makes the call and the grab. And a 1-2-3 frame. We head to the bottom of the third. Get your guesses in for Tettemer Trivia when we return to the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Bottom half of the third inning here at Thomas More Stadium. A 1-1 ball game between the Yalls and the Crushers. A little section sing-off going here at Thomas More Stadium, featuring the late, great Dolly Parton. Rest in peace. She passed away, sadly, today at the age of 80 years old. Dolly Parton being represented here in Florence. Little section sing-off. Jolene and working 9 to 5. You're a big Dolly Parton fan, right? You had the poster up in your room.
Absolutely. I also loved Short Stint, but it was still probably a couple of seasons where Joey Votto's walk-up song was Jolene, and Votto obviously my favorite baseball player ever. So,
was there any story behind that? Was he dating someone named Jolene at the time, or?
No, he had some weird walk-up songs.
Yeah.
He liked to change it up. The OG in his MVP season was painted black, and he had that for the majority of his first parts of his career.
Milo Rushford, the top of the order, will lead things off. Rushford, Blomquist, and Zeisler. 1-1 ball game. Second time facing Kobe Reeves.
All right, this Tettemer trivia today, Rory. It's one of those ones where I immediately get an answer in my head based on all the hints, and my mind just doesn't let me go away from it. Like, it limits how much I can think about other guys because of this one guy.
First pitch to Rushford, misses high and inside.
Like I said, short stint in the NL. Makes me think, I don't exactly know how long Prince Fielder played with the Milwaukee Brewers. But obviously with the Detroit Tigers,
base hit up the middle through for Milo Rushford into center field. He gets the Y'alls started, their second hit of the day, and a leadoff runner in the third. Let me repeat the question for everyone, just so you guys know where the same brainwave as Ben Howard here. Question of the day, Jacob deGrom just reached 2,000 career strikeouts. Who was the first player he struck out all the way back in 2014? My hints were it's a 3-time All-Star first baseman, mainly played in the AL, and was in the 2000 to 2020 range. Obviously, it happened back in 2014.
So all those things. He played for Detroit and Texas. Obviously didn't play for Texas very long. First baseman, although he's probably played a very good amount of DH. The fact that he was in the AL. But would have been playing in 2014. And in 14, I feel confident, or decently confident, that would have been with Milwaukee.
0-1 off speed is in there for a strike.
Which back in 2014, that was still when you didn't play very many games in interleague. Very unlikely they would have been playing. I guess it didn't have to be. I just don't remember when DeGrom got his first start. So, but the fact that he could be with the Brewers makes it more likely than if he was with the Tigers.
That one's laced out towards right field. Williams went back. I thought he might have had a chance on that, fighting the sun. It ends up a single for Blomquist.
Florence lit a bit of a break, I think, with the sun. Now, I don't know if there's a world Williams makes that play. But again, he could not charge it because he was just a little nervous that he lost it in the sun. Wanted to be sure. It's a smart play by Williams and Wright, making sure it doesn't get by him.
Man, let me just correct you here. You said you didn't know when DeGrom made his debut. It was in 2014.
I meant win in the season, like if he was like a mid-season.
Oh, okay. Didn't want you to step
over.
I like
to paraphrase my thoughts. So.
Runners first and second for the captain, who singled through the left side. Grounds this one foul down the first base line.
I appreciate the heads up, though. But again, point still stands. More likely if he's with the Brewers than the Tigers or Rangers that he faces DeGrom. I just got to feel Fielder. The 3 All-Stars feels really good for Fielder. Again, the only reason I'm a little is I don't know what you consider short stint. I felt like he had a decent stint with the Brewers.
Those were the Fielder-Braun days, and they had that incredible handshake at home plate. Do you remember that?
I do.
You probably hate that handshake. Yeah. Sorry for bringing it up. 0-1 runs inside. That's the third hit by pitch from Reeves today. To load the bases with nobody out. Deja vu. It's the same situation for Zade Richardson.
Richardson going to be a little more hesitant to swing at something low in the zone.
Airport paint body hit by pitch, the third of the day. Call Airport paint body to smooth you out, get you back in the game. AirportPaintBody.com. Zade Richardson grounded into a double play. Why, yes, it did bring home a run. Not what you wanted with the bases loaded, nobody out. Let's see if he has revenge on the mind here. First a meeting on the mound, pitcher and catcher. Got some good guesses rolling through. Again, you have until the bottom of the third here with 2 outs. You got 2 outs to play with to get your guesses in on Twitter. It's Tettemer9 or Florence_Y'alls. If you're tuning in on the YouTube audio stream, you can just comment in the live chat your guess. I'll shout you out here on the broadcast. Bases loaded, nobody out. Bottom of the third, a 1-1 ball game. First pitch to Richardson, misses upstairs. Zade having an incredible season, 337 average, 9 homers, 49 RBIs. Has not had the most success against Lake Erie this season. A 130 average against the Crushers as a total. 1-0. Misses outside. That's across 6 games, now 7 for Richardson. He's picked up 3 hits and 23 at-bats, 5 RBIs, 5 Ks and 3 walks. Infield played back. The 2-0. In there for a strike at the bottom of the zone. 89 miles per hour. Looking for the first strikeout from Jacob deGrom in his career. And I had to give it. Did I give enough hints?
I do think there's enough hints.
It's a pretty absurd question, but I had to give it a lot of hints to get someone there. That one misses downstairs, 3-1.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is I don't think anyone's sitting there on the couch remembering, oh, yeah, DeGrom's first strikeout.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
all
a
about
Met
the
fan.
hits.
Yeah. Frank the Tank might.
He might, yeah.
I tell you what, hung out with Cole, our first base coach today. He was a third base coach on the road, and he called Frank the Tank by his full government, Frank Fleming. I was like, you mean Frank the Tank?
That's a first for me.
3-1 to Richardson, misses outside. An RBI walk. Florence makes this a 2-1 ball game.
You'll take it any way you can. Good eye by Richardson.
What about this one, Ben? You throw out a shirt for an RBI walk?
My rule was that it had to be an RBI.
Yeah.
That's my rule. Now, I didn't get any shirts today, so.
You didn't make any shirts.
No.
Oh, let me fill in for you here. That's just a dot right there into the chest. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. Meeting on the mound with the pitching coordinator, also bullpen piece, and one of the only players in the Frontier League with Major League Baseball experience, Brandon Sittinger. You know, we were in Evansville, Bossy Field. They have a flag of Brandon Sittinger because he played with them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And I was like, this guy, pitches against them now, and they still have the flag up.
That is true. That's one you got to wait till the season or his career's over before.
Yeah.
It's like retiring someone's number.
Actively.
Who's still in the league on a different team.
We were thinking about making a big 13 at home plate for the captain.
Good.
First pitch to Brendan. Bobo misses outside. So the baton is passed to Bobo. Nobody out, bases loaded. Richardson worked the RBI walk. It's 2-1 Florence.
How about this? How about, if you are lucky enough to get a playoff game, you get one of them at home, you honor Hank Zeisser, you make a 13-cent beer night.
I am totally a fan of that. The 1-0 misses downstairs, gets away from the catcher, up the line. No movement.
You don't have to worry. It was 10-cent beer night where Cleveland had that riot on the field. That's a lot less than 13 cents.
Was that
now don't adjust for inflation.
Where was that? What was that back in?
90 something, I think.
90 something.
Could have been a little further back. Don't need to be adjusted for inflation. Just take those two numbers as you will.
Yeah. The 2-0 in there for a strike, 2-1. Still waiting for one out so we can start reading some of these guesses. I think everybody in the general area for today's Tettemer trivia. 2-1 fouls it away. And I'm glad too. I just wanted to go through as many hints as I could without making it absurd.
I think you got there.
Well, Zach Drury didn't think so. He said, could be anyone, bro. And I was like, I gave a million hints. Bases loaded, nobody out. 2-2 to Bobo. Swing and a miss, bottom of the zone. Bobo goes chasing on the off-speed. That is the 4th K from Reeves.
That's a big one for Reeves. Bobo going to be kicking himself a little bit.
Brings up Garrett Broussard. He struck out the last time up. Broussard this season against Lake Erie, hitting .323. He's picked up just 1 RBI, but still 10 hits and 31 at-bats. First pitch to Broussard, misses outside. 1-0 the count. Let's get to some of our guesses. Did you lock in one? Did you lock in, Fielder?
We did.
Okay. So Zach Drury started off with Chris Davis, Mark Trumbo, and Justin Smoke. He was in that general area. Corey Call said Miguel Cabrera, more than a 3-time All-Star there, but we'll accept it. That one is in there for a strike. Rich Tettemer said Tino Martinez, total guess, and then said totally wrong. Lou DeVolio said Mark Teixeira. On Twitter, we had Florence Y'all's analytics team say Justin Morneau, but Wyatt really likes Teixeira. 1-1 ground ball, right side of the pitcher. He does not touch it. Throw on to first is in time. It's an RBI ground out, 4-3 on the put away. Florence does bring across a run to take a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, that was a weird play. That ball died a little bit more than you expected on this turf. Still a really good play by Acevedo.
You don't need much when the infield's playing back, and
No.
you know, Broussard does just that.
Yeah.
That guy's got to be kicking himself. First pitch, fouls it away. I mean, I pointed to him and everything. In the chest, doesn't make it.
You're firing bullets. They're
That
too
had some
fast.
loft on it,
No,
man. That
you
was a
got-
Jalen Hurts deep pass.
Well, it was not intercepted. So.
Runners second and third, 2 away. Cole Brandon at the plate, 0-1 the count. He struck out his last time up. Now one dots up the outer half. So we have to get to our answer for today's Tettemer Trivia. We do have a correct answer in the chat. So back in 2014, we're looking for a 3-time All-Star first baseman. Spent a little bit of time in the National League, but mainly played in the American League and was in the range of 2000 to 2020. Our correct answer in the chat. That one misses outside. Fortunately, Wyatt is going to be kicking himself because it is Mark Teixeira, and the answer, the winner, Lou DeVolio. Mark Teixeira, Tex, as he was known, with the New York Yankees, as well as playing with the Rangers, but had that brief stint in Atlanta. The 1-2 skies it down the third base line, but foul and out of play. Was the first strikeout victim of Jacob deGrom in what is now 2008 Ks for deGrom. How about that?
It's pretty cool. Who was he playing with in 14 when it happened?
That's a good question. Let me look that up real quick. That one's fouled away. I'm going to assume the Yankees, yeah, because he ended his career with the Yankees. So I was in his, third to last season in Major League Baseball. Played in 123 games there, hit 216. Only a 3-time All-Star. He has a career like 268 hitter. 409 homers, though.
Yeah.
The 1-2 to Brandon. Ooh, swing and a miss. Goes around. This is a wild play.
That's it.
It's a strikeout, and they just said,
well, it hit him, and he swung, and they got the throw down to first base.
it hit him and he swung, but the bat boy touched the ball.
Well, is a ball still dead when even on a hit by pitch, if you swing and miss? I think it's still dead.
So it doesn't matter if he...
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I would at least think that. Toby Hall's arguing.
Yeah. Technically, Hank Zeisel would have scored before the throw went down to first,
Yeah, but
too.
it's still a force at first, so I don't...
It's an awkward play. We'll head to the top half of the fourth. Florence picks up 3. When we return, it's a 3-1 ball game on the Frontier League Network, powered by HDN.
3-1 Florence lead. They take the lead back at the bottom of the third. Weird play ends that inning, but Yadier Villalobos back out to the mound for Florence with a 2-run lead. 5-6-7 coming up for Lake Erie. Last time Florence scored, Luis Acevedo was the first Lake Erie hitter to hit the next inning. Saw one pitch, put it over the left field wall, and he will lead off this top of the fourth. A crucial 13-game stretch for Florence the last 2 weeks of the regular season. Every single game is of uber importance. Feels a little more important right now playing the last place team in the division. Florence hit those baby blues. Back at home, see him wear them a lot. Only run of the game for Lake Erie came on that solo shot. Kind of mentioning off air a little bit, though. Florence has loaded the bases a couple of times with nobody out. The ways they've got their 3 runs are on a 6-4-3 double play. Did not come with an RBI because it was a double play. RBI walk and then an RBI 4-3 ground out. So they've loaded the bases twice with nobody out and haven't gotten a base hit in either of those opportunities. It was a 1-2-3 second. Still have that 3-1 lead. Long break at the end of the fourth for a little bit of recognition here on Strikeout Cancer Night. And here is Acevedo, the 262 hitter. Saw his 8th homer of the season go over that left field fence in the second. First pitch of the inning, off speed just off the plate for ball 1. Acevedo, an all-star 2025 with New Jersey. Fastball left off the plate. A little bit of an interesting player, too. Acevedo has had different points in his career where, he showcases some power, but he's also just a really good, high IQ hitter at the plate, too. Swing decisions are great. Going all the way back to his college days, he has more walks than strikeouts in that time. Another pitch outside, then Villalobos finds the outside corner on a get-me-over pitch. Called a strike, 3-1 count on the second baseman. And this one's roped hard over the head of Dylan Baker. Drops in for a hit in left field. And it's misplayed and left by Rushford. That will allow Acevedo to get all the way to second with a leadoff double. I don't believe he touched that in left. Home run and a double at 2 plate appearances for Acevedo so far. He's hurt Florence at different points this year. Lake Erie's got a lot of new guys. Top to bottom in this lineup. Coming up, one of them who is not new to this Lake Erie team at all, Jared Watkins. With the runner on second and nobody out. New 2-run deficit for Lake Erie. First pitch to Watkins in there for a strike. He was hit with a pitch immediately after that Acevedo solo home run back at the second. Eventually got stranded on base after Villalobos let 3 straight on, including that solo shot with nobody out. 0-1 is cranked into right field. That's all the way down the line, gets to the corner. Easy wave around third for Acevedo, and a misplay and right by Bobo this time. Probably won't affect what Watkins gets. He cruises into second with an RBI double, and just like that, it is a 1-run game on back-to-back doubles to start the inning for the Crushers. A small sample size, the only damage done for Lake Erie is by this middle part of that lineup, 5-6. Yeah, again, Bobo overrunning one. We've seen that a couple times from the corner outfielders. Back-to-back plate appearances. Up comes Garrett Pike. And now the game-tying run at scoring position. Punches the first pitch foul opposite way. 275 hitter Pike. 5 homers and 34 RBIs. First weekend that Lake Erie was in town, Pike was on the injured list. Fastball runs inside. A ball and a strike for Villalobos. That's the second run Villalobos has allowed now. 3 innings in. That's now 5 hits. Both runs are earned. Just a pair of strikeouts, or trio of strikeouts for him so far. All came first time through the order. Throws a slider in the dirt, now puts Pike ahead here 2-1. Two of them came in the first inning, both looking of two of the better Lake Erie hitters at Redfield at Parks. Comes set for the 2-1. Beautiful curveball. That does land in the zone. That's been his best pitch so far today. That's where he's got a couple of strikeouts on it. Florence still with that slight lead, trying to get themselves off a 4-game skid that included a 3-game sweep to Evansville. A sudden death loss to this Crushers team. Looks at second, comes home. 2-2 pitch off the plate, counts now full. Villalobos has not walked a batter yet. This is threatening to be the first. Payoff pitch is way downstairs, ball 4. There is that first walk. And again, Acevedo, Watkins, Pike to start off an inning. Happened in the second, happened now on the fourth. All three of those guys get on. It's now a single and a walk for Pike. As Ian Francis comes up with a couple on and one and nobody out still here in the top of the fourth. Here comes Toby Hall's first mound visit of the game. I don't think we saw one when he let a couple on with nobody out back in the second, but you see Hall not afraid to take these mound meetings. He honestly doesn't do it a whole lot with Villalobos. Again, that kind of veteran presence, somebody like Villalobos has been pitching a ton in his professional career. And it's a short meeting here. Game tying run over at second base for Lake Erie after Florence takes a 2-run lead just an inning ago. Villalobos really trying to capitalize on the bottom 2 batters in the order, something Florence has struggled with all year long. Here is Ian Francis. Typically not the starting catcher for Lake Erie either. That's Nick Chavez, who's got decent offensive numbers. He's getting a break today. First baseman Hank Zeisler comes way in expecting a bunt. First pitch is fouled back. Francis does not show bunt on that first pitch. Maybe Zeisler charging in, affecting that a little bit. Maybe a part there. He's only hitting 182 on the season. It's got the worst batting average in the lineup for the Crushers. Zeisler coming in again. In for the 0-1. Fastball is way upstairs. Got a couple of strikeouts on the curveball. Usage has gone down a little bit. We've gotten second time through the order. Misses off speed outside this time. Puts Francis back ahead of the count, 2-1. Ian Francis spent a little bit of time with the Reds organization this season, not far from here. Played with the Daytona Tortugas. Short stint, also the Arizona Complex League Reds. Takes strike 2 on the outside corner, even up 2-2. Villalobos still looking for his first out of the inning.
Could have been mates with former y'all Hunter Henry. Henry Hunter.
Henry Hunter. That's always a great one.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
All the time.
Easy to mess up. Grounder off the leg of Villalobos. This could be tough for Broussard. Charges, no throw. An infield single after that ball probably had a chance to get to Baker and maybe even a chance at 2. Instead, the bases are loaded with nobody out here for Lake Erie.
Patrick McCormick is going to come out with Toby Hall. Take a look at him.
That ball wasn't nailed off the bat, I don't think. One hopper off that left thigh. You saw no reaction. You didn't even see a squint from Villalobos on that. We saw C.J. Blowers, Florence starter, a couple of weeks ago, have to come out of the game after taking a line drive. That was off of his throwing arm, though. So he's chatted up with Villalobos. This has turned into a very dangerous situation. Not only game-tying run 90 feet away with nobody out, go-ahead run stands in scoring position as well. And it looks like Villalobos is going to stay in the game after a very short meeting. And this is not a short meeting with the thought he was saying something to the home plate umpire. He's just waiting for Villalobos to throw a pitch. He's okay. Got to take advantage of the 9-hole hitter here, James Jett. With the bases loaded and nobody out in a 3-2 Florence lead.
You're almost begging to turn 2.
Yeah.
And leave a tie game because I don't want to face the top of the order in Redfield.
Absolutely. Big moment here on the top of the 4th. First pitch is in there for a strike. That's the other thing about that last play is that could have been 2. If Villalobos doesn't hit his leg, Baker may be able to turn that. Jett struck out swinging his first time up. Leaves an 0-1 off the plate, or even.
Yeah, need
Florence
that.
fans wanted that strike call. Hear the Purdy's a little bit behind home plate. Guessing that's who that is, of course. Willing on the Florence vet, Villalobos. 1-1 offering. He is called a strike at the knees. Beautiful location. Well, I think it was a slider for Villa. And now Jett will take his timeout with the 1-2 count. Left fielder's got 4 homers and 18 RBIs this year. Even just against Florence, he's hitting many different spots of the lineup. It's been cold. They put him all the way down to the bottom. 1-2, way inside of a good block by Beadle. Runners have to stay put. It's Watkins at third, Pike at second, and Francis at first. Shortstop at a center fielder on the base paths right now, too, for Lake Erie. Aiken Motor. Now, Florence on that 4-game skid. Lake Erie, other side of the coin, they're 3-1 in their last 4. It's their best 4-game stretch since the All-Star break. 2-2, broken bat at Villalobos. He's got the throw to home. Beadle down to first. Yes! A 1-2-3 double play. That's huge for Florence. Villalobos, after getting hit on that comebacker, make it a really good, calm play. Realizing you got Jett plenty of time to get the throw home, get the throw you needed, and Beadle with a really quick turn.
That is a great one to call there, too, Ben. A 1-2-3 double play. It just sounds right.
It's as easy as it gets. It's funny to say it sounds right. I said it off the tongue, and I was like, this feels weird. I mean, how often do you say that?
Yeah.
But 2 down. Runners still second and third here for Lake Erie. Villalobos not out of the woods. Like you mentioned, it's the top of the lineup, Joe Redfield. He came up with 2 runners on him back in the second. Villalobos got him to fly out deep to center field all the way to the warning track. He's 0 for 2 after that first pitch. Gets a moderate distance away for Beadle. Villalobos came to cover. Runner stayed put. It's Francis second now. Pike over at third. And Redfield, a 4-year affiliate experience ball guy. Who kind of buckled him. Awkward pitch, froze him on the inside corner. And another good location on TrackMan there, bottom half for Villalobos. Ball and a strike. Villalobos trying to work a Houdini act. With the bases loaded and nobody out, get out of it unscathed after a couple of leadoff doubles, brought one in. That one does catch a piece of the bat, so that's why it got to the backstop. Now he's ahead 1-2. It's the second already in the 4th inning. It's the second double play with the bases loaded and nobody out we've seen. Only difference is Florence came on the base path, still scored one. That one of the plays was at home plate. Huge for the Ulls. Got Redfield down 1-2. Nods and fires. Foul ball down the third base line. Spoiled out of play. Redfield's got 29 ribbies on the season. Again, hasn't been, just a leadoff hitter this year, although it's where most of his time has come.
Yeah.
And he's DH'd a lot. You don't see it a whole lot from a leadoff hitter. Another 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Villalobos loads the bases with nobody out and gets out of it. with his defense and with his arm. 1-2-3 double play and a strikeout. And Florence keeps a tight 3-2 lead. Go to the bottom of the fourth. The Frontier League Network, powered by HTM.
Yes.
Another really good turnout on the kids' run. You can see it right there in a longer middle of the fourth inning as we try to get all those kids off the field for what is a beautiful night for baseball. A lot of fans in the crowd. I think this might be the most attended Tuesday outside of opening day, obviously. A little bit unfair to compare. But how about that? The first Tuesday of the season, the last Tuesday of the season with some really good turnouts. A lot of people trying to will Florence to the playoffs. 3.5 game lead over Windy City for the final playoff spot, the final wild card spot. In the Midwest Conference, Florence a slight 3-2 advantage. Lake Erie, low to the bases in the top half of this inning. A 1-2-3 double play and a strikeout got out of it. They still got one in the inning on back-to-back doubles that started it. The bases are loaded with nobody out even after that one run came across. Here is 8-9-1 for Florence in the bottom of the fourth.
Well, Baker got one that he liked the last time he was at the plate, just missed it. I'm interested to see if Kobe Reeves, he's has not been as effective as he's has been in the last two starts. It's possible he can leave that over the plate again, and maybe Baker can capitalize this time around.
Reeves has only allowed 3 hits in his 3 innings to Florence, which obviously not a low number, but considering he's given up 3 runs, it's been the walks and the hit by pitch. He's hit 3 batters already. First pitch to Baker, did put one over the plate. It is a strike.
Yeah, plus 2 walks. It's, 5 free base runners for Florence.
Yeah. Florence has loaded the bases twice with nobody out against him, the first and the third innings. Fastball left off the plate this time. Ball and a strike to Baker.
And again, you're not upset that they get a run. It's just that they didn't get the hit that brings in a lot more than what they have.
You said it a lot against Evansville. Grounder down the third base side, picked up by Parks on a couple of hops. Bullet across the diamond for out number 1. A lot of meat left on the bones, and even with the 3 runs in the first 3 innings, that is certainly true today as well. Brings up Beadle. Struck out swinging his first time. There's another look at that play by Parks.
This is a guy that's been playing third base, just playing the left side of the infield a lot. When we were facing Evansville early on in my year with Florence, he was a shortstop.
Fouled off the own shin at Beadle. His offensive numbers don't scream out stereotypical shortstop at all, with the lower batting average and the high home run RBI numbers. Beadle's going to take a little bit of extra time. Of course it's Beadle, who already takes enough of a beating behind the plate as a catcher. First pitch he sees here, fouls one off of his own ankle. There's got to just be a lot of black and blue on his body.
Sergeant Bilko is tuning in, and he did get here to Thomas More Stadium. I'm interested if he's actually listening, or if he can just type in the chat.
Yeah. What did he say? Slider misses.
He was saying try to catch you guys in the 7th inning stretch. If he could hear us, he could just stand up and point himself out. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if he wants to come up here in the 7th inning stretch, we don't have too much time in the 7th inning stretch.
1-1 foul towards the dugout. Nice play made by someone in the Florence dugout. Beetle down 1-2. Just give us a sign. Doesn't have to be anything crazy.
A little nod.
Yeah, you're going to have to keep an eye out.
I'll be glued.
1 out, nobody on for Beetle. Down to the count. 1-2. Swing and a miss. A couple of strikeouts in his first 2 plate appearances. Bottom third now goes down 0 for 3 in each of the first times through the order with 4 strikeouts. 2 strikeout day already for both Brandon and Beetle.
It's an interesting one. I mean, Reeves almost falls over on this strikeout. Now, what's interesting is Reeves, combined in his 2 starts against Florence, had 6 Ks. He's got 6 in this ballgame.
Yeah, that's right. 6 strikeout now. 3 2/3 innings into this one. All 3 runs are earned. Just the 3 hits, though. Again, he's walked 2. He has hit 3 batters. Rushford off the end of the bat, fell down the third base side.
Oh, he's way down the third baseline is what he's saying. Section 115. Sergeant, we got to move you behind home plate.
Oh, 1 fastball misses up to Rushford. How about this? He's reached both times.
There he is.
Wow,
I see him.
Found him.
How about that?
A little starstruck, honestly.
Honestly.
Another quarter cut here by Reeves. Up 1-2 on Rushford. Now it's been kind of identical. First inning, Florence slowed the bases, left meat on the bones, did get a little bit, and then they go down 1-2-3 in the second. Third inning, same thing. Now fourth, and jeopardy of going down 1-2-3. Check swing didn't go. Rushford will stay alive for now at 2-2. So we talked about Windy City creeping up a little bit on Florence, 3.5 back. Boy, that Gateway Series win was just ginormous this past weekend. Grounder, first base side, that'll stay fair. It's going to be a long run over here. Rushford slides towards the bag and is late. Good hustle by the pitcher, Kobe Reeves, to get himself out of the 4th. So the second 1-2-3 inning of the game for Reeves. It's still a 3-2 Florence lead with Villalobos back out for the 5th on the Frontier League Network, powered by HCN. Fancy footwork for Villalobos to get out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation at the top of the fourth. He still has given up 2 runs in his first 4 innings of work. He's back out for the 5th against the Lake Erie Crushers. They have been one of the least productive offenses in all of Frontier League play this season. And Villalobos has had a great second half of the year. Couldn't make it out of the 3rd last time out. There was a little bit of fatigue involved, velocity down. As of now, he's looking a lot better in the, a little bit more fresh department. 2, 3, 4 for Lake Erie are the 5th. Williams, Parks, and Joe Bear. 3-2, Florence lead. Villalobos sets it, fires, and gets Williams way out in front of that breaking pitch for strike 1. Williams is another one of these mini Lake Erie hitters, despite the lack of success this year. There's a lot of guys who come from affiliated ball. Just kind of goes to show that we've talked a little bit on the broadcast. That one misses low 1-1. There's not always a positive correlation between teams who have guys with affiliated experience and wins. Ball and a strike. This one's lined and gets past Dylan Baker into left field. Another leadoff base hit for Lake Erie. 3rd time they've done that in 5 innings. 2nd hit of the day for Jerron Williams. Pavement Parks. It's the dangerous part of the lineup. They haven't done much. 3-4 combined 0 for 4 at Parks and Joe Bear. With once again the game-tying run back on first base. First pitch no good, top of the zone. Ground out to short. And Joubert popped up right back to Villalobos. That was in Villalobos' only 1-2-3 inning. It was the 3rd out back in the 3rd inning. Big swing and a miss. Boy, Joubert, or Parks rather, looking for a little more there. And just a single. 4+ so far for Villalobos, and he has surrendered 7 hits now. Just the 2 runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks. Misses downstairs, goes down to the count 2-1. Hasn't gotten ahead of the count as much as we typically see from Yoniker. This one sawed-off foul, past home plate, back even to 2-2. Well, it was Villalobos who started that Sunday game that ended up, being a pretty common football score. 17-14 Schaumburg win, a frustrating win, or frustrating loss for Florence because you got to Buddy Pindell, Caleb Rydell, the 2 All-Stars for Schaumburg. Scored, I think, a combined 11 runs on those 2 pitchers and lost. High chopper to the second base side. Blomquist can't think about second, just goes short way to first. Productive out for Parks to get Williams at scoring position. It's the first out of the inning for Villalobos. But the point being that 17-14 loss, that was the first start in the last 7 for Villalobos that Florence did not win. He had a 6-game, not win streak for himself. He didn't record the win in all 6 of those games, but Florence had won each of those 6 games. Here comes Braden Joubert. Fastball no good upstairs. Out of all the guys we've seen picked in the MLB draft in the Frontier League, Joubert one of the higher rounds. 12th round is St. Louis. Got up to high A with Peoria. Cold strike outside corner.
Zade Richardson's former stomping grounds.
Yeah. It feels like when we talk about affiliated guys, there's like 5 teams in the Frontier League. 5 major league organizations that guys in the Frontier League played for. St. Louis you see a lot. You see Houston a ton. I don't know if I'm just looking into that. Slider called a strike at the knees in a good spot.
You're saying Houston a ton for Frontier League guys coming over?
Yeah. Time called and the 1-2 count now for Jobert. Palm City, Peoria, 2 teams that he played for the Cardinals organization. Florence out a little bit on Sunday with a solo shot. It was a big piece of that win over Schaumburg. Hard grounder through the right side. That's going to be a base hit, and they're going to wave around the runner. Throw comes in from right. It's just a tad late. This game is tied up on a Braden Jobert RBI single.
Man, that was just
3-3.
Right underneath the glove of Blomquist. Made a good effort. Take another look on HTN. I mean, it was full extension from Blomquist, and he is right on top of it. Just, a game of inches.
It is. Now you got to deal with Acevedo with just 1 out of the inning. And now the go-ahead run on base, top of the 5th. And he swings at the first pitch. It pops it in a tough spot, shallow right. Long run, Bobo. He's coming in, and he will make the grab. Jobert also a little dangerously far off the first base bag. He gets back in time. Huge second out. Also to get it against Acevedo, who's homered and doubled today.
That play happens in slow pitch softball. I'm coming up firing a rifle at Zach Drury at first.
I don't think Zach Drury, and I say this as an extremely slow runner myself, I don't think he's as fast as Braden Jobert.
Well, I was saying Drury's on first. No, the first baseman.
Oh, I see. I thought you were saying if you saw Drury off the bag.
Oh, a little Indian tag, just trying to throw it at him wiffle ball style. That wouldn't feel good.
2 gone now. And still a pretty successful day for Watkins, who's been hit by a pitch. Drove in Lake Erie's second run with a double. First pitch at the knees, cold strike. A little bit of a generous crawl there from Cruz. So we got a 3-3 tie, and Lake Erie is out hitting Florence 8-3. But that's what we typically see from Villalobos. Fastball runs in and hits him. Watkins has now been hit by a pitch twice. The only 2 hit by pitch of the game for Villalobos. Now their trainer will come out and have a look. And it's Garrett Pike who's reached twice, coming up with a couple runners on at 2 outs. I think again, elbow area. Oh, that was the hand.
Oh, the hand.
Yeah, those are ones. There's a lot of them that don't feel good at the moment. The hand is certainly one of them. The hand is also one that you get a little worried about long term.
Some dual trainer action here. Trainer for Lake Erie looking at Pike, and the trainer for Florence, Patrick McCormick, looking at Beetle.
Well, both of them back to their dugouts and both of their respective players in the game. That's Watkins over at first after the hit by pitch. Beetle behind the plate. 2 on, 2 out in a huge spot. Go ahead run for Lake Erie here at the top of the 5th. Stays in scoring position. With Garrett Pike at the plate. Swings at the first pitch. Diving stop by Zeisler. Could Villalobos get there in time? Yes. The captain making a really nice play to get Florence out of the 5th and leave a couple stranded. How about that? Another first pitch swinging. Chopper over to first base, and Zeisler makes a beautiful dive. Villalobos just in the nick of time. Halfway home, we stay tied at 3-3. Florence now has another opportunity to take the lead. Right back here on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Florence will be battling to take the lead back once again. Lake Erie has tied it here in the top of the 5th. 3-3 is the score. Lake Erie out hitting Florence 8-3. And with some of those dap-ups to Yannick Villalobos, we think that his day might be done. And another just classic Villalobos start. Only 3 runs in 5 innings of work. But he gave up 8 hits. Got some really good defense. Did strike out 4.
That's just a classic Villalobos start. But the thing is, Ben, if you get that in the playoffs, it plays every day of the week for any starter on the team. You don't have to do much. It's got to go 5 innings, 5-6 innings, 3-run baseball. You give up as many hits as you want as long as you're only giving up 3 runs. And then Florence, you should have the bullpen to take away the rest of the game. Talking about Danny Hines, McAvoy, and Barraza, supposed to be your lockdown guys. And, that's kind of the recipe for success for Florence. As long as you stick to that game plan, you should find success. Should be the key word.
It's going to be the key moving forward. Florence will go as the bullpen goes. Right now, they're trying to take a lead with the offense. Brett Blomquist fouls off the first pitch as Kobe Reeves makes his way back to the mound for now. His 5th inning of work. He's got 4 innings of 3-run baseball. 3 hits, couple of walks. He has struck out 6. Matches his total number against Florence in 2 starts this year as now Blomquist fouls one off of himself and will lumber over towards the Florence dugout. Down to the count 0-2. We've seen it from both sides with the 3 runs. There have been, similar spots in the lineup that have done the damage. It's been about that 5, 6, 7 spot for Lake Erie. For Florence, they've got the runners on base here at the top of the lineup. This is 2, 3, 4. Blomquist, Zeisler, Richardson. Blomquist back in the batter's box. Fastball high. Give him a 1-2 count. Is it the 16 homers on the year now? Fastball up and away. I think you go back to spring training before the season. Any of those rookies coming in you just didn't know a whole lot about. If we said, hey, you get 16 homers, 69 RBIs out of one of them, I mean, you're obviously thrilled.
I say start on day 1.
Yeah. 2-2 fastball just misses. That looked like a good spot from up here. 87 miles an hour on it. It is low. Call from Miguel Cruz. And now Blomquist, originally down 0-2, has run the count full. He's done this already today, and he worked a walk back in the first. I think it was a hit by pitch. Called strike 3, rung him up on that inside corner. Well, that is a tough one.
I love that from our front row there. I mean, that's what you need. Have some guys get on them right away. Accountability is a big thing here in Florence.
All right, yeah. 7th strikeout now here from Reeves. The Purdy's the accountability police. Yeah?
Yes.
They're getting on everyone. They're yelling up here when we miss a call. We miss a bad play. First pitch to Zeisler's called strike. He's been on both times. Single and a hit by pitch. The top 3 in the lineup. They were all on each of their first 2 plate appearances. That Rushford ground out to first and Blomquist strikeout ruined it. 0-1 fastball left off the plate. Counts even to Zeisler. The Lake Erie bullpen, it isn't terrible. You have a couple of reliable guys. The bottom of the bullpen isn't very good. It's kind of hot and cold with them. It's poked foul.
No, I mean, Lake Erie, if they keep the game close, they have those guys that are solid. Brandon Sittinger being possibly the best reliever I've seen in the Frontier League. But that's the key. You just got to hit their starting pitching.
Got to hit the starting pitching and just get as many relievers as you can. It's not just about today. It's about the fact that there's a 4-game series coming up, including a doubleheader tomorrow. A couple guys stretching, nobody throwing out in that right field visiting team bullpen. Counts 1-2 here on Zeisler. Lefty on lefty matchup. Left to pitch in the dirt alone. Need a lot of that pitching available with the 4-game series. Obviously, for both teams, the Monday off day will help. Lake Erie's rostered 12 guys, 5 of those being starters, so they have a 7-man bullpen. Florence has been working with a 6-man rotation on their 13 pitchers on the active roster, so a 7-man bullpen for them as well. Fastball misses high. Counts full on Zeisler. Here they write 3,100 on the attendance today.
3,103.
Wow. For a Tuesday night, that's spectacular. Could say, hey, $2 Tuesday, strikeout cancer night. You know what I want to say? No, they're making a playoff push for Florence. Payoff pitch inside, ball 4. Zeisler on for a 3rd time today.
I think we've entered the spot where people really are just pitching around Zeisler.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, that's where Richardson and Bobo become all the more important. One might have hit Zeisler. That was about as close as it gets inside. Just barely missed that jersey. Richardson with 1 on, 1 out, and a 3-3 tie. First pitch is lifted out to center. Pike going back at the track, still going. That ball is off the wall, and Zeisler's off to the races. It's a long run for the outfielders, and Zeisler gets the wave. Richardson all the way to 3rd with the go-ahead RBI triple. Florence back in front, 4-3.
Oh, that was an epic slide into 3rd there from Richardson. Y'alls don't have many triples this season. Richardson, that was beautiful.
Hit that's almost the deepest part of the ballpark, too, and both Williams and Pike were giving it chase all the way out there. That ball, it's rare. It's picked up in left field with both the center fielder Pike and the right fielder Williams right there. The left fielder Jet nowhere near it. That is RBI 50 for Zade Richardson. And Florence is back in front here near the bottom of the 5th.
Little nod from Danny there.
Anytime Zade Richardson does something well, I feel like I'm getting credit for it at this point. Spobo, this is also a sacrifice situation. Runner 90 feet away. Florence wants some insurance. Infield comes in for Lake Erie. He takes the first pitch. It skies it foul. 3rd base side. Bobo yet to put a ball in play. Hit by pitch at a strikeout. Three for 10 in that series against Evansville. RBI numbers starting to pick right back up. He's got 71 on him on the season. For that to be second on the team by almost 20, it's pretty ridiculous. Grounder with the infield in. First baseman Jobert coming in, throw home, and they got Richardson. Well, that's a great defensive play. Jobert and Acevedo almost collided on the right side of that infield.
Yeah, it's a really good play. And I like the decision from Florence, force them to make a solid play. If anything, the right side of the infield wasn't in on the grass. Just, they fully connected all the way around.
So, does get Bobo on the base paths over at first, eliminates the sacrifice situation. 2 outs, Garrett Broussard with a chance to keep the inning going. Now a 4-3 Florence lead. Still getting doubled up in hits, 8-4. First pitch hits the ankle of Broussard.
God, it's a lot of hit by pitches tonight. Airport paint and body getting.
That's 5 or 4 now. It could have been 5 if Zeisler, I think, just missed him. But 4 just for Reeves. Saw one for Villalobos as well. Just that shin. And it's going to be a meeting on the mound here for Lake Erie. This might be it for Reeves. Just peering in the right field bullpen. Actually, I don't think there's anyone really quite ready in that Lake Erie bullpen. Maybe to give him more time, whole infield will come in. You mentioned not many triples for Florence this year.
Good look at the bullpen there. That's the first time we've really seen like a zoomed-in look at the Lake Erie pen. No one really warming. It's everybody just kind of standing up. And a good shot of Who's Hangout.
Yeah.
Our guy, J.J. Hoover. J.J. Hoover producing the team cards for this season. Who's Hangout.
Sure. It's a guy who knows what he's doing in the cards department.
Oh, you think?
Yeah. Here's Cole Brandon with runners on first and second at 2 outs. Boy, would this be a great to send some fans home with a Wendy's double stack. He's the Wendy's double stack batter of the game. And a 4-3 Florence lead. Reeves back after the mound meeting almost runs in and hits Brandon. Backs him off the plate on a fastball high. Brandon a 2-strikeout day. His number's starting to relax a little bit after a pretty good start the first week with the Yalls. Coming over from Gateway.
Logan Jones warming up in the pen.
That's the 1-0 pitch of the dirt go. That ball is thrown down to first and hits the runner. Bobo right on the, looks like elbow he's holding. Broussard.
Yeah,
And he was hit by a pitch too. I mean, that's a tough past few pitches. He was far out the first base bag, but so was Joe Bear, the first baseman. That's that thigh. So the lower leg was the hit by pitch, upper leg there on the back pick. A 2-0 count after that pitch was low to Brandon. Fastball does catch pace on that outside corner. Reeves is located well today.
Yeah, it's off the plate.
We've already mentioned the 7 strikeouts for him.
He's gotten a few calls.
Not wrong. Villalobos got a couple too.
Sure.
That one certainly off the plate. Let's give it Brandon a 3-1 count. Back to the point of before that weird collision or contact over at third. Richardson now is second on this team in triples. That's his second of the year. Only behind Milo Rushford, who has 3. Nobody else has multiple. 3-1 count. Fouled back. Count is now run full. So Villalobos gave Florence a really solid start, but only going 5. They're going to need the bullpen. Florence would also love to get Reeves out of the game in the 5th. They have less urgency in their bullpen. Payoff pitch, runners off, singled back through the middle. That'll score a run. Here comes Bobo scoring standing. Throw is cut off, and Florence gets some insurance, 5-3. An RBI single for Cole Brannon. So how about that? You were asking for some RBI base hits. The bases are loaded with nobody out. Also, a lead hype man there for Gabe Parsons over in the press bucket throwing out some T-shirts.
That was great.
Now you get your RBI base hits there. Richardson with an RBI triple, Brandon the RBI single. There's Dylan Baker to try to tack on some more 2-on-2 out. They're at first and second. First pitch slider, misses low again. It's a good response, too, after striking out your first 2 plate appearances.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's coming up big when you need them.
Baker got a pretty good piece the first at-bat. Deep fly out to left, but he's 0 for 2. Big swing and a miss. See a lot of those big swings for the Florence shortstop. Talk about Parks not being your stereotypical shortstop at the plate. Baker's that same way. 255 batting average, isn't bad. He's got 11 homers and 63 RBIs on the season. Grounder, left side. This is going to be a play for Watkins. Easy way to second. Got him in time. Florence strands a couple, but they take the lead right back after Lake Erie ties it. RBI base hits for Richardson and Brannon. 5-3. Going to the 6th on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken pitching change for Florence. With a new wing coming into the game, you can pick up the best wings in the tri-state area at Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Here is Logan Jones, the first out of the pen. Yannick Villalobos gave Florence 5 respectable innings, and Florence has a 5-3 lead by the time they get to their bullpen. Jones' first offering home is low to 8-9-1. So Jones gets a little bit of a help from 8-9 to start his day. See if he can take advantage. Just finds that inside quarter 86 miles an hour. Jones has reinvented himself a little bit after a rough stretch just off the All-Star break. And he's been really solid as of late. 1-1 off speeds popped up to Jupiter. Tailing out of play, and it gets just past the Loge tables down the third base line. Last 5 appearances for Logan Jones. He's given up just 4 earned runs, 3 of them coming in 1 appearance against Brockton. Scoreless in his last 3 appearances, combined 4 2/3 innings, including 2 2/3 scoreless against Evansville on Saturday. 1-1 pitch is an off-speed outside. Count should be 1-2. 2-2 now after that ball. Got it wrong on our scoreboard here at the stadium. Florence a 5-3 lead. Top of the 6th. Fastball just gets a piece here. The Lake Erie catcher, Ian Francis. Florence and Lake Erie split in 8 games so far, 4-4. A little bit better start for Lake Erie with a 3-game series win all the way back in May. Another foul ball here for Francis. Really good at bat. Count still 2-2. But then Florence won the only other 3-game series last week. 2-game series because of some rain makes this a 4-game series. They split that 2-gamer. That's how we're split at 4-4. Jones still a 2-2 count after a really nice at-bat start here for Francis. Off speed, fouled back again. Now the 8th pitch of the first batter faced by Jones coming up. Foul ball on that view. Got to take a look at the really good crowd on hand for the final $2 Tuesday. Really good job by Francis to leave it alone. Confirmed by Will Naleski down the first base line that he didn't go. And a full cat start. Jones had been someone who's typically not going more than an inning until they pushed him to go 2 2/3 against Evansville. 3 appearances before that were just an inning apiece. Ball 4 inside. That's a outstanding plate appearance, especially against a new pitcher for Francis. Leadoff runner on here in the top of the 6th for the Crushers. We've seen some very quick responses from both sides today. Florence got off to that 1-0 lead of the first. Top of the 2nd, right away, Lake Erie tied it up. Florence then scores a 2 again in the bottom of the 3rd to take the 3-1 lead. Lake Erie gets 1 to the 4th, 1 to the 5th. Tie the game back up at 3. Slider missed off. And then at the bottom of the 5th, that ball got some trouble getting back to Jones. Bottom of the 5th, Florence gets those 2 to take the lead right back. That's how we're at 5-3 in the top of the 6th inning. James Jett, who has struck out, bounced into that ginormous 1-2-3 double play with the bases loaded back into 4th. Cold strike at the knees and a really good looking pitch from Jones. So final line for Villalobos. He goes 5 innings, giving up the 3 runs, 8 hits in his 5 innings of work. He walked just 1 batter. He struck out 4. Rory and I were talking about it. That is, another Villalobos start to the core. In the dirt, Beetle trouble with it, gets to the backstop. Now a man at scoring position as Francis sprints to 2nd. My eyes tell me he's got a little bit of wheels for a catcher, Francis, that is. But Jones, after walking the first batter, now down to this count 2-1. Only walked 2 batters in his last 5 appearances. Off speed, hit into center. That'll drop in for a base hit. Francis was waiting to see if it's caught. Has to stop at third. But with nobody out, that's the right call. Thrown back in for Brandon. They're on the corners, and again, the game-tying run on base with nobody out here in the 6th. What you really don't want is for this to look a little bit like the last game of that Evansville series, where Florence finally broke through. They took a 5-run lead against Evansville in what I think was the 7th inning. Top of the 7th. Right away, Evansville responded with an 8 spot. Florence didn't even hold the lead for more than half an inning. Top of the lineup, hard grounder over to Zeisler. Drops it at first, still wants to throw home. Tag applied. Still waiting the call. Did not get him. And the Florence crowd, including Toby Hall, Zach Beadle, erupts. That was such a late call because of the collision with Miguel Cruz. Zeisler bobbled at first base. Still came home. Boy, I need to see a replay of this one. Take a look coming up. So this would have been an easy play as he broke to the plate if Zeisler was able to pick it up on that hop. Still comes home, and I think he's in there. That's the right call from Miguel Cruz. Florence can't get an out, and Lake Erie is now within 1. That ruling's going to be a weird one. Do you give Zeisler, there's a fielder's choice. You might just call that a fielder's choice with no out. Florence faithful really giving it to Miguel Cruz, but again, I don't, as close as it looked in real time. I mean, I love to give the home team a little bias, but he's he's safe by a good margin on that play. And now after arguing with the umpire, now Toby Hall will go back to the dugout and come back out to the mound and have a mound meeting with Jones. Whole infield comes in here for Florence for the mound meeting. Game-tying run at scoring position once again for Lake Erie. As Redfield reached safely at first. I don't hate the decision for Zeisler. Obviously wanting to come home in the first place, but that bobble at first made it a really tough call. There's Florence's bullpen. We'll see what they want to do with Jones. There's nobody actually throwing her. Just some light stretching here for the Ulls. Toby Hall's done with his mound meeting. Runners on first at second with nobody out for Lake Erie. Now would be a great time for some of those strikeouts we've been seeing from Jones. They got to deal with Jerron Williams, who singled twice today. Back after the mound meeting, Jones out of the stretch. First pitch, Williams went after it, foul tipped it into the mid. So Francis is the one that comes around to score. Jet is over to second base. Now Redfield on first. Williams at the plate with the 0-1. Hits it high in the air, shallow right. Bobo coming up. Blomquist going back. Bobo waves him off, makes the play. And we'll keep the runners from advancing. Huge first out of the inning here for Florence. Could be 2 outs if Zeisler just decides to step on first. Or if he maybe doesn't bobble that ball. Brings up Pavin Parks. Again, not exactly sure how that'll be scored. Can we give that a base hit there for Redfield? I think fielder's choice is the right call. I don't think you can give it a hit. First pitch to Parks, way off the plate on a fastball. 5-4, Florence lead. Still clinging on to that one-run lead. Again, another quick response for Lake Erie. Florence's offense will certainly want to get back to work. But the task at hand is Joan keeping this game tied. Let the first three batters on. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Walk, single, and the fielder's choice now for Jones. 1-1's the count for Parks, who's got 73 RBIs on the season. To go with his 19 cranks. Only hit .234. There's a lot of pop in that bat. Leaves the 1-1 alone. Not someone with a crazy on-base percentage either. Doesn't walk a ton. OBP under 340. Nice pick by Beetle. Throw to second off the low pitch. Jet back in time. Good idea there for Beetle. Risky one, but good stop nonetheless. Count does go to 3-1 now here for Parks as he takes his time out. Take a look at it again. Awkward stop there. But hitters count for a very dangerous hitter at David Parks. He's playing for now his 5th Frontier League team in Lake Erie. Big leads for both runners. Called strike right on that outside corner. It's about as close as it gets, but gets the call from Cruz. Just another instant classic between these two teams. Split the season series. 4 games apiece. And each of the 3 series, we've seen at least one just a really good game. We've seen some blowouts. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Huge strikeout there for Jones. 82-mile-an-hour slider top of the zone. Got Parks to go after the eye candy. 2 down, runner staying put. Yeah, slider breaking outside of the lefty Parks. Top of the zone, that can be a dangerous place to put it, but put it just out of reach. Last chance to try to tie this thing up in the inning is Braden Jobert. First pitch fastball way outside. Jobert is 1 for 3, and he's the one who tied the game back up in the 5th with an RBI single. He can hurt Florence a little bit. Start with Lake Erie late in the season. Leaves another fastball off the plate. 2-0. Of all the guys for the Florence bullpen who gave up runs against Evansville, Jones one of the few who did not. 2 2/3. Throws to second before coming home. Take a close look at Jet standing at second. It's Redfield over at first. Coming home with 2-0. This one's cranked over the head of Blomquist into center field. Wave is on for Jet. Throw will go to third base. It's deep. It's over Broussard's head. No run from third. But Lake Erie has tied this game up at 5 apiece on the RBI single with an advancement on an error in center from Brannon. Braden Jobert has tied this game up at back-to-back plate appearances. It is now 5-5 at the top of the 6th. Quick responses both times, and it's the Florence bullpen again. That gives up a lead the first time, the first inning they're called upon. Now 2 in scoring position still for Lake Erie. A dangerous spot here for Luis Acevedo, who's got a solo home run and a double today. The first pitch to him's outside for a ball. Saw one pitch, tied the game up, but his first plate appearance is back in the second inning. Swing and a miss, goes down to a knee on that fastball. Counts 1-1. This one's grounded through the middle, base hit. Lake Erie leads. Redfield home, right behind him on his tail with no throw. It's Joe Bear. It's a 7-5 Lake Erie lead. Florence has now allowed 4 in the inning. RBIs 2 and 3 on the day for Luis Acevedo. It's Jared Watkins, another guy who can do some damage. First pitch, fastball, called a strike. Fast forward, or rewind, I should say, back to Sunday when Florence took a 8-3 lead in the top of the 7th inning against Evansville. Immediately surrendered, runner takes off for second, and the pitch sails into center field. And now Acevedo off to the races to third. Brandon knows better than to throw it there. And now another runner 90 feet away. It's another errant throw for Florence. Be the second error of the inning. Boy, back to the point. Evansville would respond in the bottom of the 7th, scoring 8. Holding on to that 11-8 lead. Now Florence takes a 2-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th, make it 5-3. 4-spot immediately in the top of the 6th. Make it 7-5 Lake Erie. And still not over. Line right at Garrett Broussard. To get Florence out of the inning. Another one where the bullpen has given Lake Erie, an opponent, the lead. 7-5 going to the bottom of the 6th. Bats need to do some work on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTM. Florence offense back to work, bottom of the 6th. They trail 7-5 after Lake Erie takes a lead in the top half of the inning on a 4-spot. All tagged to Florence right-handed reliever Logan Jones. You also get 9-1-2, Beadle, Rushford, Blomquist, and we have a Hoove setting out pitching change. Looking for the perfect spot to relax and open up your favorite baseball or Pokemon trading cards? Visit former Reds reliever J.J. Hoover at Hooves Egg Out today. 405 Washington Street, Suite D in Alexandria. They call on Wesley Coley. They're going to go to a lefty, knowing that Florence has some dangerous lefty bats. Day is done for Kobe Reeves. Beatles, the first batter he faces at a 7-5 Lake Erie lead. First pitch is in there for a strike to Beetle. Two strikeout day for the Florence catcher. Both swinging. Goes after that pitch and goes down to this count 0-2. Numbers for Coley so far. It's an 0-1 win-loss record with a 4.3 ERA. It's been one of the better pieces of this Lake Erie bullpen. Swing and a miss. 3-pitch strikeout. Beetle down on strikes for the third time today. They've been in this spot before. Similar situation just a game ago at Evansville. Get back to the top of the lineup, fourth time through. Milo Rushford is 1 for 2 with a walk. Swing and a miss. Fastball up just off the plate here from Coley. He's seen Florence a good amount these last couple of weeks. He has pitched in both of the series against Florence. 1-1 popped up foul behind home plate, up and out of play. This is obviously, within striking distance for Florence, just being down by 2 runs. We've seen him with some heroics. Not sure what the plan is with the bullpen after this inning. I'd assume that's it for Jones. Still have 3 more innings to take care of. It's only the bottom of the 6th. Check swing up high. Appeal says he did not go. Keeps him alive now with a 2-2 count. Backdoor slider, no good again. Counts full. Well, Florence now in position. If they can't come back to match their season high losing streak at 5, and just the most brutal time to get that season high losing streak possible. Payoff pitch right down Broadway, strike 3. Couple of strikeouts. One swinging for Beetle, one looking here for Rushford. 2 down, nobody out for Blomquist. First pitch just a tad inside of Blomquist. Hit by pitch and singled in his first 2 plate appearances. Struck out looking. It was the final strikeout victim of Reeves. Hard grounder into the Florence dugout. 1-1. Final line for Reeves is 5 innings, a 5-run baseball on 5 hits. It's a whole lot of 5s. Struck out 7, walking 3. Breaking ball all the way to the backstop. Seen Florence do some damage with 2 outs and nobody on. Today it's kind of been the opposite. He left 5 on base in the first 3 innings. He loaded the bases twice and nobody out. Fastball up. 3-1. Left upstairs, ball 4. Good battle there for Blomquist. Couple of free passes to him today, hit by pitch, now walk. Now he gets Zeisler as the game-tying run. This is a spot that he loves. 2 homers back against Evansville. Both of them solo shots. Now the franchise leader in game started. Over 300 in his Florence career. Big swing and a miss. He would have tied the game up with that first pitch. .23 homers, 89 RBIs. Still in.
Lefty-lefty battle. The 0-1 to Zeisler. Skies it foul down the third baseline. Zeisler been on base all 3 times today. 1 for 1 with the hit by pitch, a walk, and a run scored. Captain of the Yalls in his franchise record-breaking 306th game as a member of Florence. Man is breaking records at almost every game. And he certainly has a few single-season records that he can eye down as well. Already the single-season run scored leader, but he stands 2 away from tying the single-season RBI record. 3 homers from tying the single-season home run record. 0-2, swinging at his top of the zone. He is down on strikes, and Coley strikes out the side, stranding a runner on first with a walk. Heading to the top of the 7th, Florence trails 7-5 when we return on the Frontier League Network, powered by HDN. Top of the 7th inning, we have a Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken pitching change with a new wing coming into the game. You can pick up the best wings in the tri-state area. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, always fresh, never frozen. John Costa in for Logan Jones. Logan Jones' final line. 1 inning pitch, 3 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Jones, John Costa, just a couple appearances this season. A 7.71 ERA, 2 1/3 innings pitch, 1 King, 3 walks. Was really hit around his last time out, but he did pitch well his first time in a scoreless frame against Schaumburg back on August 16th. Against Evansville, a tough game to pitch in, one where Florence was down early and often. 1 1/3 innings pitch, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and a K. His last time out. Florence trying to use him as a bridge and kind of see what they have. First pitch, a liner right back to him. It's off his glove, no throw on to first. And it ends up as a leadoff single from Garrett Pike, 82 off the bat, right back to Costa. And that's the way this game's been going for Florence now. The second ball off of a pitcher today. And once again, the athletic trainer, Patrick McCormick, will have to come out and take a look. It's looks like glove side there, so shouldn't be anything too dangerous unless just a shock more than anything. Give him a second to calm down. He's got a smile on his face. He looks good out there. We are joined by Cowboy Betterweight than never, old classic Kurt Kramer. Kurt, I saw you have a little gig yesterday?
Yeah, man. We so little charity event I run out in Loveland called it's called Jammin' for ALS. This is our 3rd year of doing it. We donate all the proceeds to ALS United Ohio. So yeah, we had an event yesterday out at the VFW. A lot of good bands came out and had a good turnout yesterday.
Good, good.
So yeah.
Well, that's great to hear, and everything else going well with you. Ian Francis at the plate, nobody out, runner on first. Top of the 7th, Florence trailing 7-5.
I mean, how can it go? Can't go any better. I'm in the bucket with old Tettemer tonight for another Rip That Pack.
Ground ball down the 3rd baseline. Lake Erie is hitting at will. That one finds a corner and ends up as a double. Runner 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. The Y'alls have not been able to slow down a team that ranks dead last in your own division. Florence trailing 7-5 here in the 7th.
Yeah, I will tell you this. I have done nothing but cook popcorn all night long. So I have nothing to really add to the game as far as what we've seen. But this is a team that, you know, if you're Florence and you're 3.5 ahead, you expect to come out and do something against these guys. So, you know, hopefully those Florence bats come alive here late as we get into Rip That Pack. But I did bring the Donruss.
Yeah, and I'm excited about that. Whenever you do have something for Florence, if they're not playing well, it's always great to have Rip That Pack up in the back pocket.
Right. So I'll let you dive in first tonight. I've been jumping in there first. Oh, roar go.
0-1, top of the zone in there for a strike. 0-2. Called time here from James Jett. Now, for every box of Donruss that we've had a numbered card pulled plus a memorabilia patch. And it's always the memorabilia patch. I'm yet to see an autograph pulled in a blaster. I mean, when that happens, Kurt, we do have to go ahead, buy a couple lottery tickets, and, you know, count ourselves lucky. Swing and a miss as Jett loses the bat for the first K of the day for John Costa. One away as we head back to the top of the order. It's 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. I was talking about this in the last series. This is a rising epidemic here in the Frontier League. Just not being able to hang on to the bat. You don't see it anywhere else.
Almost a good souvenir for a fan.
Obviously, in Donruss, you get a lot of inserts in your packs. That one's skied foul, so you never know what's going to come up numbered. We're starting off with the 2nd best 3rd baseman of all time in George Brett. Notice how I said 2nd best.
2nd best.
Yeah, 2nd best. Then we got Carter Jensen, rated rookie. He's having a great first season with the Kansas City Royals. Had some high expectations as a catcher, and he's pretty much filling all of them in replace of Salvador Perez. The 0-1 skied foul. Florence with a 7-5 lead, trying not to get any further away. Down 2 runs. We got Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseballs. Obviously now the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. What about going to Mr. October, Reggie Jackson? Pick up a Reggie Jackson Yankees card. Back-to-back Yanks there. This is one that you'll like. Ken Griffey Sr., Cincinnati Rocket Power. And followed by his son, Ken Griffey Jr., with the Seattle Mariners at that, but that's pretty cool.
I would have liked to seen the Rocket on that junior.
Yeah. Costa comes set first base side. The 0-2 pitch bounces the dirt and swallowed up, but that's a good look. Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. on back-to-back pulls here on Rip That Pack. And one of those is the Rocket variation. It's weird because the Rocket looks different on almost every card. Costa still ahead in the count. Delivers the 1-2 swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks from John Costa. Showing off that breaking ball and the strikeout stuff that got him signed for Florence from the CPL. Coastal Plains League off of the championship with Wilmington. And we'll go to our next card. We have the AL Cy Young frontrunner and Cam Schlittler, followed by Chase Burns, who's trying to get into that NL Cy Young race. Why don't you take that, Chase Burns, in case you don't pull anything.
Such a generous man.
That one's skied down the left field line, but well foul. It is Jaron Williams at the plate. He's 2 for 4. Going over with Cam Smith, and then we'll get to our final inserts. Ooh,
crunch shot.
Got a lot of good inserts here. We have Brandon Sproat on the Optic Shimmer. He was the main piece of the Freddie Peralta trade going to Milwaukee. Alex Rodriguez on a Optic Chrome. You don't see too often, actually. The straight-up Optic Chrome, as he was with the Texas Rangers. That's a cool one. Elite Series Paul Skeens.
Oh, nice.
That's a cool-looking card, as well as Crunch Time Trey Savage. Crunch Time is one of our favorite inserts. You get him on a cereal box, and Trey Savage, obviously, that's his rookie card there, too, which is great. Plus, Charlie Condon was the chase of last season, and Jonathan Santucci as well to finish off our pack.
Get into this one real quick, possibly here.
0-1 the count.
I can open it. Starter out with Kazuma Wakamoto, rookie.
Another swing and a miss, and the bat goes wild. 0-2.
What's going on with these bats tonight? James Wood, Yami rookie. It's like a.
It's always good to get a Dodgers prospect. Yeah, Josue de Paula.
That is for sure. And Colt Emerson is another good one.
What a top prospect.
Jimmy Fox.
Wow.
You know, there's no crying in baseball. Deion Sanders, little Robin Yount, David Ortiz, Euclid, a Sammy Sosa optic, and then it looks like we got a
ground ball foul down the third base line.
Byung Kim from Arizona. I gotta say, I think you win that pack.
What's that black? What's the black Optic Shimmer? Looks different. Byung Hun Kim from Arizona. Yeah, that's an interesting one. There's Kurt's. There's Kurt's best card there, that black Optic Shimmer. But we also like this Trey Savage Crunch Time rookie card. We love the cereal box card there. I feel like I have a lot of decent ones there. Maybe nothing like top tier.
You got the Skeens Elite.
The Skeens. I really like that Alex Rodriguez Optic Chrome. Don't see the straight up chrome on that too much. Runner still second and third. Here's the 0-2 count. Fastball, top of the zone, in there but not called. It's a big time miss at the top of the zone. 91 there, painted by Costa. Could have gone out of this inning striking out the side. Let's see if it costs him. Glove at the belt. The 1-2 fouls it away. That's a big time spot here for the rookie. You come in here and it's one-two, misses downstairs on the off speed at 86. 20-42 on the spin rate. Costa's, a guy that Toby Hall really wants to get confident and get, into a clutch situation, build up that confidence to where he's, confident going into that spot. This is a pretty good idea of what you can, try and get him into. 7-5, not exactly a clutch situation, but just trying to keep it close for this team. 2-2, misses downstairs. All of a sudden, it's a full count.
Tell you that missed call on that one in the top of the zone really starting to come into play here for Costa. And he's throwing some good pitches here, though.
Payoff pitch, called, strike three, bottom of the zone. He gets the makeup call and strikes out the side. Stranding runners in second and third. Beautiful job there from John Costa. One of the best innings we've seen from him so far. Kurt, you're going to take off?
I'm going to be out tonight. I will catch you guys tomorrow night for another Rip That Pack for a doubleheader.
Absolutely. We will see you guys at stretch time here at Thomas More Stadium. Stretch time always brought to you by the Stretch Lab. Their team of highly trained flexologists will give you a deeper stretch that you can never achieve on your own. Visit stretchlab.com to find a location near you today. Wesley Coley back out for another inning of work. He struck out the side pretty quick fashion against the 1-2-3 of Florence. Just a walk to Brett Blomquist. It'll be Zade Richardson, who's done nothing but produce RBIs in all 3 plate appearances. Sorry, produce runs in all 3 plate appearances. Double play, doesn't get the RBI on that one in the first. RBI walk and RBI triple. Let's see how he continues his night. 1 for 2 right now with 2 ribbies. The 1-0 misses downstairs. 2-0 the count.
I think that top half of the inning, it's got to give you some momentum. Fire you up. Your bullpen's been struggling. Starting to look like it was really going downhill. Put a rookie in there, and he strikes out the side to get out of it. Rally around Costa.
2-0. Misses downstairs again. And you really just need to get this into a point where you can throw in Danny Hines. I mean, that's where you want to get to right now. And it doesn't have to be 2 innings to close for Hines. You have those other guys that you want to be able to trust. But if you just give Florence the lead here again. 3-0. In there for a strike. Missing at the bottom of the zone. 3-1. That's a tough call there from Miguel Cruz.
Seen a couple of
and he just tossed. He just tossed Bat Boy Joe.
Oh my gosh.
He just tossed the Bat Boy. That's impossible.
Never seen it before. He's going to get an ovation. I mean, it's a bad call. It is.
That's got to be the first time. Can you even write it down?
He's technically on the roster.
Miguel Cruz just tossed out the Bat Boy. Wow.
The only time I've ever seen it.
And he's got to pack it up. He's got to pack it up. Get him up to the broadcast. Wow, a Let's Go Joe chant. How about that? The 3-1 from Richardson punches it out towards right field. The ball doesn't lie. It gets in for a base hit. Richardson's second of the day. And what a weird turn of events.
Let Bat Boy Joe fire you up a little bit.
rally. We've been looking for something to rally behind. And
the
why not
bullpen's
getting
gonna go
tossed?
greet him down the third base slide, too.
Why not let Bat Boy Joe rally him up?
Wow.
You know, when I was in Tennessee, they rallied around a similar figure. It will be a pinch runner for Zayden Richardson. Oscar Serrano's going to come in at an early point in this game. He will be the designated hitter the rest of the way through. Well, they rallied around, I don't even know if I would call him a clubby. It was just a guy that looked like Cheddar Bob from 8 Mile, the Eminem movie. First pitch, fouls it away from Brendan Bobo. 0 for 2 day from Bobo, reaching on a fielder's choice and came home to score. He was hit by a pitch as well. The Alls would love to get his bat going in this ball game. But they rallied around Cheddar Bob to a point where it was just like everything started firing on all cylinders. And that's what Florence really needs. Sometimes even if you don't have the better team on paper, something like that can always make you a threat.
And they also have the better team on paper in this game, too.
Yeah. In this game for sure. I'm just saying for the playoff matchups throughout the rest of the week.
The only time I've seen something similar, and it's just a viral social media clip.
1-1, fouls it away.
It's when the bat boy, whatever you want to call him, was a kid. He was like aggressively putting the ball in the umpire's hands. I think it was a minor league baseball game, and the umpire tossed the ball boy.
Yeah.
Seen that video? There's a viral clip. Now, Joe, it was words. It wasn't like, all right, I get it. If you're a bat boy and you're like aggressively putting the ball in the umpire's hand.
Big swing and a miss from Bobo. He is down on strikes. Florence doesn't need that home run. That's it was a big cut from Bobo with 2 strikes. They need to just piece together hits and hits and hits. Home run ties the ball game. Couple hits could give you the lead. Brings up Garrett Broussard. That's the 4th K from Cully. It's 408 averages. That one's drilled out towards left field. Jet warning track to the wall. So long. Or off the top of the wall. That not get out?
What in the world? Did he just save that from going out? I think it hit his glove.
Just hit straight off the top of the wall, or did it hit that second
I think it hit his glove.
How about that? Just a double from Broussard. Take a look at HTN.
They're going to talk about this.
Oh, we need a look at the wall, yeah. Oh, it's too late. Either way, it's a big-time hit for Garrett Broussard. Runners second and third, and just one away. The baton moves to Cole Brannon. And first a meeting on the mound.
I love this. This is the second time Lake Erie's done this that I've seen. This is the 3rd guy to make a mound visit this game. It's Mark Mason, the bench coach. Yeah,
that was weird.
Love to see that again. My thought is he went up and couldn't make the catch but brought it back in.
Yeah, that second wall is pretty close out there, too. I thought it might have hit the second wall as well.
Yeah.
In which it is behind the fence.
That is a home run, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's a home run as well. Either way, we'll take it.
It sounds like you would prefer for that to not be a home run.
Home runs kill rallies.
Right. Big spot for Brandon. God, this has just been a weird last 20 minutes.
I still can't believe Bat Boy Joe got tossed. Serrato's at third, Broussard at second. First pitch to Brannon, an off-speed inside for a strike. Brannon today is 1 for 3 with an RBI single. 0-1, skies it foul. You're in a spot for Lake Erie where they are giving you a run. The infield is back. They can't turn 2. They are saying, hit the ball to me. I will trade a run for an out to make it a 1-run ball game. All you have to do is put it in play here on the ground. And one's better than none. There's been far too many chances where Florence just hasn't come away with anything. From the stretch, the 0-2 to Brandon. Grounds it, foul down the first base line, but that does a job. Then you pass it over to Baker, and maybe Baker gets a single. Oh, 2 misses outside.
Thought I was going to call that.
92 out there from Coley. Strikeout stuff certainly working for him today. He already has 4. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Pick up 5. Florence has struck out 12 times today across 2 pitchers.
It's been a theme. I mean, it's especially been a theme against Lake Erie. Move it back to a game they won against Eisenbarger last week.
Moves to Baker.
Alex Carbrick, who hasn't struck out a lot of batters for Lake Erie, also struck out a good amount.
Dylan Baker 0 for 3 today. Had 1 big hit against Evansville. Picked up an RBI there. First pitch to him, pops it up behind home plate. It's out of play. Gives him another life. Ooh. Rattles off the awning. Seven to 5. Lake Erie leads. Florence with 7 outs to play with. From the stretch, 0-1. Swing and a miss. 92 down the heart of the plate, middle. Threatening Baker just to go out and get it. Don't often get that pitch this late. 0-2 again. Drills it down the left field line. It's foul.
I like that going to get it, though. I mean, haven't seen him shorten up his swing a ton this year.
That was out in front of the off speed. You shorten your swing, you usually have that opposite field approach. Yeah. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Coley, 2 innings, strikes out the side in both. Florence strands him in scoring position, heading to the 8th, trailing 7-5. Top of the 8th, John Costa out for another inning. It's the 3-4-5 for Lake Erie. They have done a lot of damage today. Costa going to try and tame him. He struck out the side with runners in scoring position the last time out there. Florence goes to the rookie again, still trailing 7-5. It is back-to-back big innings. The 7th, is just for both sides. You're leaving runners second and third in a clutch situation, and your side gets struck out. First swing there, fouls it behind home plate. Beetle trying to find it. He'll run out of room. Ooh.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of strikeouts today, especially for Florence sitting. But
13 against Reeves and Cully is a bit too much. A bit too much. You're going to send this game to Sittinger, which is not where you want to be. The 1-1, swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. Really like the off-speed stuff for Acosta right now. Parks is 0 for 4. Florence being out hit by almost double.
being out hit by, almost double and not playing great situational offense is not a recipe for success.
1-2. Swing and a miss. But Costa's dealing on the mound.
He is.
4 Ks for Costa.
That's where, you got to look at the offense and say, hey, you got to help this kid out.
Yeah, that's 4 in a row.
Yeah.
He allowed a single and a double to start off his outing and has since then struck out the next 4. Brings up Braden Jobert, who's done it with the bat. 2 RBIs today, 2 singles. He's 2 for 4. Let's see how Costa attacks the big lefty. Top of the zone, no good. Waiting on deck is Acevedo, who's a triple shy of the cycle. Ground ball right side. Blomquist gets there. Throw on to first is in time. Nice play from Brett Blomquist over at second. 4-3 on the putaway. That was 105 on the ground.
It was almost smothered on the ground by Blomquist. He didn't have a great angle on it, but still makes a nice play.
Brings up Acevedo 2 away with the bases empty. Acevedo today is 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, 2 extra bases. A home run in the second. Again, just a triple shy of the cycle. Florence is going to leave left field wide open in the corner. That one misses upstairs. Obviously, the triple we saw earlier today for Zade Richardson was a deep fly to center field. Center fielder went all the way to the wall, and it bounced off the wall by him, and that allowed Richardson to run for days. One and one the count. The pitch drilled out towards left field. Rushford in front of the warning track. Looks like he has it. He makes the grab to end the inning. Tip of the cap to John Costa. A 1-2-3 frame against the 3-4-5 for Lake Erie. Keeps this a 7-5 Lake Erie lead as we head to the bottom of the 8th when we return to the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Hooves Hangout Pitching Change, looking for the perfect spot to relax and open your favorite Pokemon or baseball trading cards. Visit former Reds reliever J.J. Hoover at Hooves Hangout today, 405 Washington Street, Suite D in Alexandria. Alexander Castro will be called upon for Lake Erie as they start to try and close this game out. Could be Castro to Sittinger to end this ball game for Florence. Seems like a now or never situation. Florence has not registered a single hit off of Brandon Sittinger yet this season. Do not want to face him with the game on the line.
Yeah, he's been good. And again, you also get a good spot in the lineup. Starts off with Beetle, though, as the 9-hitter. See if Castro takes advantage. This is a good opportunity for Beetle to work a really good at-bat.
Coley ends with 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and 6 Ks. Count them, 6 Ks in 2 innings of work. He struck out the side in both. 0-1 the count to Beetle, who's 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Trying not to get the golden sombrero, and that one misses upstairs. Do we establish this as a golden 4-4, or is it just sombrero with 4 Ks?
Golden sombrero is 4. Platinum sombrero is 5 Ks.
Okay. 1-1. Skies it out towards left field in the left center gap. It's Pike all over it, making the grab for out number 1. Back up to the top out of the order. Florence down to their final 5 outs. Let's go to the numbers here. The Y'alls trailing past the 6th inning, or 7th inning at this point. At home, 2-10. Total, 2-27. Have not had many late comebacks, but why not today? Castro this season, 1-3 with a 4.67 ERA, 2 saves, 27 innings pitched, 16 walks to 32 Ks. First pitch in there for a strike to Rushford, who's 1 for 3 with a walk and 2 runs scored. Oh-1, grounds it foul. Acquired at the deadline here from Lake Erie. Trois Rivières was the home for Castro before. 1-3 with a 4.64, 2 saves, 23 games, 21 in the 3rd innings pitched, 12 walks to 29 Ks there. So he's only had 5 2/3 innings here with Lake Erie across his 2026 season. 0-2 upstairs. 1-2 the count. Played collegiately at Alabama State. How about this? A 1-8 record with a 9.49 ERA, 41 games, 7 starts. The 1-2 swing and a miss, but he sits down Rushford here. Florence down to their final 4 outs. At this point, you are just praying that Brandon Sittinger is not available.
Someone is warming up with that Lake Erie bullpen.
That's him. Uniform and everything. First pitch to Blomquist, swing and a miss. Florence at 14 Ks on the day. And that's 14 more than you would like. Yeah. 0-1. Punched, shallow right field. Out goes Acevedo. It's Acevedo making the grab, and a 1-2-3 frame from Castro in the 8th. To the top of the 9th we go, trailing 7-5 when we return on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Top of the ninth, Lee's famous recipe chicken pitching change with a new wing coming into the game. You can pick up the best swings in the tri-state area. Florence heads to Danny Heinz. Interesting point here. Florence going to Heinz, who's been a lockdown reliever for them, aside in 2 outings against Schaumburg, but trailing in the ball game. Really banking on your offense to make this a worthwhile use of Heinz here. Trying to maybe ignite some fuel into the offense, see Heinz go out there and shove against this team before facing Brandon Sittinger on the other side.
They're going for it, that's for sure.
Certainly. I like the move.
This late in the season, yeah.
Why not exhaust your options here? Trying to just keep this a 2-run ball game. Guess that shows the trust in Toby Hall that he has in Heinz.
Yeah.
And in a 1-inning situation, I feel like Heinz has gone in a lot of 2-inning situations where then he's like, hey, you might be burned the rest of the series. 1 inning, you still open the door for him to pitch tomorrow, pitch maybe on Thursday. You'll need everyone you can tomorrow in a doubleheader.
Yeah, it'll be Magic Lawson, see how long they can go.
To be fair, your other options are Barraza, McAvoy, or Blowers today. 0-2. Fouls it away.
It's true.
So, 3 out of the 4 options you're saying are your back-end bullpen guys. Quickly has Watkins down 0-2. Florence hasn't scored since the 5th. That one misses outside. The good thing is Brandon Sittinger will not have his bells ringing in the background as they do at Forefront Field.
Is that what it is?
Oh, it's the most annoying thing possible.
Is it Hell's Bells or what is it?
Yeah, it's one Undertaker bell. 1-2, swing and a miss, top of the zone. First K of the day for Danny Heinz. So, yeah, he comes into Undertaker's bells, and then after every strike, it's another bell. Dun, dun. It gets, and he starts playing it, so many times in the inning.
So how about, try to get a hit off of him. If we get that first hit, I would play a bell.
Yeah, maybe. First pitch all the way to the backstop, 1-0 the count. Skies it deep out towards center field. Brannon all the way to the warning track. He's at the wall and makes the grab. A long second out. That was 100 off the bat. 393 on the distance.
It's one you hold your breath for. Deepest part of the park. Brandon, no worries.
Brings up Ian Francis, and move could pay off for Florence with a quick 1-2-3 inning possibly here. Francis has reached base 3 times today. He's 2 for 3. That one misses downstairs. Here's the 1-1 swing and a miss, 1-2. Heinz working middle of the rubber. Kick the 1-2 pitch. Top of the zone, called strike 3. 95 there from Danny Heinz. That's what we mean. Fuel the offense just a little bit. Give us some momentum heading to the bottom of the 9th. 3 outs to play with. Florence chasing 2 when we return to the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Bottom of the ninth, it's Brandon Sittinger entering the ballgame, the closer for the Crushers. He's also the pitching coach. Sittinger, one of the only players in the Frontier League with major league action when he was playing with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He is a tenured Frontier League veteran, starting with the Otters in 2019, signed with the Diamondbacks in 2021, worked up from AA to AAA to the big league club, was released, granted free agency, signed with the Braves, only got to AAA there, did not get back up to Major League Baseball. He has mowed down Florence numerous times this season, picking up a save and a win early, but has also forced games into sudden death like the last time we saw him on August 20th. Hank Zeisler will be the first batter. Off speed in there for a strike. If there's one guy that's not going to try and dance around Zeisler, it's probably going to be Brandon Sittinger.
Yeah, last time he pitched here at Florence, though, Zach Beadle got the RBI single and struck out the next two batters he faced. Only three batters he faced in that game. But
0-1, skied high in the infield. Home run in an elevator shaft. Acevedo has it and works back to make the grab for out number one. Florence has been retired 6 in a row. Oscar Serratos, who came in as a pinch runner for Zade Richardson in the 7th. We said it might have been early, especially because Serratos' run only made it a 7-6 ball game at the time. You do have Serratos here in a clutch situation. And to be fair, he's 1 for 2 on the season, so he's hitting 500.
With Florence, yeah. He's got one home run this year back with Windy City.
Yeah. Again, Ben, I'm not looking for the homer. 1-0. Ground ball right side. Florence down to their final out. And this is a nightmare for the Y'alls because Schaumburg winning, Windy City winning. Florence will be just 2.5 ahead of Windy City.
You cannot afford many of these days where you lose. Windy City wins down the stretch. Just can't. To do it against Lake Erie.
We said you want to win 3 out of 4 of this. Back against the wall the rest of the series if you can't come through here. Down to the final out. 0-1 Bobo's swing, just right through that off speed. Fell off a table. Misses downstairs. I think Sittinger's one of those guys. I think everyone else looks at Barraza like other teams. How the heck do you score runs off of him? He's got a 4.2 ERA. He's allowed runs, but to us, he's just been lights out. 1-1, swing and a miss. 13 walks to 53 Ks. And it's amazing, you don't even expect Florence to get the runs off of him. You expect him to get off of Wesley Coley, Castro before him. Yeah. That's where you needed to strike. The 1-2 fouls it away and just spoils a fastball outside at 94.
Even more against Reeves when you had the bases loaded twice with nobody out.
100%.
Couldn't come
100%.
up with a big hit.
You're back to leaving 9 on base again today. Being out hit again by almost double. Windy City won 8-1. The 1-2 misses upstairs. So it wasn't even close for Mississippi.
No. That's the first game. You talk about travel, wanting to take advantage. That first game, it's big.
100%, yeah. To do that after your long trip from Chicago. 2-2 to Bobo. Drills one into right center field. That drops in for a base hit. Cut off in front of the wall will be Williams, and Florence still has life. Playing with 1 out to go, it brings up Garrett Broussard.
He'll take that. It's a good approach, too, there for Bobo.
Yeah, 105 off the bat on just an off-speed left too much over the plate. Broussard's had a good day today. We thought he almost took one out of the park in the 7th. Ended up hitting off the top of the wall. Earned a double. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI and a hit by pitch. First pitch to him, off speed, right down Broadway in there. Middle on the off speed.
Gonna get that pitch a lot.
It's been a few times. It's like, man, you don't see that pitch often with the game on the line. He drills another one out towards left field. It's hanging up for Jet, who's racing in towards the line and ends the ball game. Florence drops 7-5. The streak is down to 5. Losses in a row for Florence as they continue their slide here late in the playoff run.
I said it earlier, you know, it's just a terrible time for your tied for the season-long losing streak to come in the last 2 weeks of the season now. 5 straight.
The loss will go to Logan Jones for Florence, who could not get out of the 6th inning. He was the first entering for Villalobos. An inning pitch, 3 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and 1 K. Brandon Sittinger gets the save, and the win would go to Wesley Cully, who pitched 2 scoreless innings with 6 Ks against Florence in the 6th and 7th to secure the dub for the Crushers. They're playing some of their best baseball on the other side. Florence going to have to try and cool them down in a doubleheader tomorrow. Florence hasn't swept a doubleheader all series. Certainly be a first time for tomorrow.
Yeah, Lake Erie's having a really good time. Just really fun time playing spoiler. That's what they try to do with Schaumburg with that 2 out of 3 series win. That's what they're going to try to do here with Florence. And I said, it's so tough to sweep a doubleheader. So if you want to get that 3 out of 4, I mean, man, this gets really tough for Florence. You got to play really good baseball for 14 innings tomorrow. You cannot continue to dwell on these games, though.
No, I mean, you have to wash it away. You have to rally for something. You know, there's got to be someone or something that can give, you know, that little extra motivation. Maybe it's Bat Boy Joe's ejection. You didn't see it the rest of the way here tonight, but something like that, you know, Florence just needs to find some love against and use it the rest of the way. And, you know, try and scrape out some wins in, you know, games that, you know, can get bleak like this. You take that lead, once again, you give it right back. It seems like it's someone new every night. The last 2 games, it's been Barraza, McAvoy, and now Jones tonight. Immediately once you get that lead and head to the bullpen. And how about this? How about the starter? How about let's give the starters a couple nods the last few days? I mean, really have done a great job for Florence. Talking about leaving, you know, Yannicker Villalobos on a day where he goes 5 innings. Really battled with some runners on base, allowing 8 hits, 3 runs, and 4 Ks. But then even on Sunday, 11 Ks from Webster. Couldn't get him the win. Could not get him the win when he's trying to chase down history. Pick up the most single-season wins in Florence history. We'll do it again tomorrow. Again, it's a doubleheader. 7 innings for Florence. It will be a 4:30 first pitch start in what we believe will be Eli Majic against Alex Garbrick. Now, we've just been told the starters it'll be Majic and Lawson tomorrow. We're not told the order. For Lake Erie, it's Garbrick and Chase Hopewell. So Florence will be facing their former relief pitcher in Chase Hopewell. And, you know, could be, you know, a series on the line, perhaps, if it doesn't go well for Florence, but also try and take a series lead if it does. That'll be tomorrow's story. Until then, we appreciate you guys tuning in, as always, on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN or the Florence Y'alls Radio Network. Ben, do you have any final thoughts before saying?
Yeah, it's obviously a tough one to be frustrated with. Florence fans know Chase Hopewell has had his struggles this year. Alex Garbrick has an ERA just barely below 8. So, you know, you want to turn the page and think to yourself, you got 2 winnable games with some pitchers that you know you can have success against. So you just got to keep thinking forward. 2 weeks after the season, you need every game. You just cannot dwell on these past games. No,
certainly just got to keep thinking positive thoughts and still have a playoff spot in your hands. You're playing with house money. Florence just has to turn their tide around and end a 5-game losing streak. That'll do it for us tonight. Ben Howard, Rory Tettemer saying so long from Thomas More Stadium. And y'all have a good night. Thank you.